Welcome to Alton Park and welcome to the opening round of the Circuit Rally Championship. Who says rallying is a summer sport? Here we are, winter rallying at its best, and we have got an all-star lineup here for the opening round, headed by our reigning champions John Griffiths and Emma Morrison. It seems strange when we get to this part of the year when we have rallying starting again, when traditionally cars were in the garage and in the workshop being prepared, ready for another season. And now we have this all-year-round culture of going rallying, and that is fine by us. We are going to be live here on Special Stage for 3 stages this morning, and we're going to be trialling a new format with some interviews thrown in as well as the stage action. As you watch now, and there's Steve Simpson, Chris Williams on the stage. We're into the first stage of the day. The first stage layout here at Alton Park is, if you are familiar with the race circuit, it is wrong direction, which we can do here in rallying. And the cars are going wrong direction. They're heading out of the pit lane. They're doing a hairpin left, and then they're coming back up the start-finish straight in the wrong direction. Then they've got 2 splits and then a 3rd split to the finish, and they're going to 90 left onto the old rally school part of the venue, which, if you know, is extremely slippery, particularly at this time of year, although it's fairly mild for the northwest of England in November. So they're slotting left just where Bridge is on the race circuit and heading onto that slippery rally stage in the middle. Each pair of stages we change the layout, and stage 3 and 4 is peak Neil Howard rally as far as I'm concerned, because it includes that gravel section, the Deers Leap. It includes the rally school section in the middle. Got a intoxicating mix of launch control and flat chat rally cars here on the start line, as you've got the cars doing their hairpin left into what becomes the merge. As you see, Kieran Hankin and James Swallow through into the stage. So John Griffiths and Emma Morrison get us underway, reigning champions here in the Circuit Rally Championship. Michael Igoe, Will Atkins, just heading past us there in their Fiesta Rally 2, squirming under the brakes, pushing hard from the off. Mark Kelly has Richard Scarborough in with him at car 3. Rob Hughes, Sean Cunniff, car 4. Steve Simpson, Chris Williams, car 5. They were second on last year's Neil Howard rally. Paul Murrow, Callum Cross in 5th place. Jason Wilson, Lee Wilson, the first of our 2-wheel drive cars in the Darien, are in car 7. There is Mark Kelly. Kieran Hankin, James Swallow, mentioned them a minute ago, they were 6th overall here last year. They finished 7th in the championship. And then you've got Graham Coffey and John Cope. John swapping seats and going for a run out with Graham Coffey. He'll do some banter inside that car. Car number 9. And they were 9th place here last year as well. The last time Graham Coffey climbed into that Fiesta S2000 turbo car, the Neil Horns ATM engineering prepared car, was this rally last year. He's not been in the seat for 12 months. He just said to me, well, Paul, I stupidly got into boats, didn't I? So he's been out sailing for the last 12 months, and here he is back in a rally car. He has won here before, and I was in with him for one of those wins as well. Tony Robinson, Paul Spooner start at car 10. Mike English and Andy Robinson haven't started the rally. They had an engine issue at scrutineering, a water temperature problem, which they're putting down to a head gasket, and a Rally 2 Fiesta is not the sort of car you want to risk it with. Mark II Escort, as he used to have, would have been stripped down in the paddock last night and re-prepared, ready to start this morning. That's the DS3 R5 you can hear off the line. Jack Ives, David Reed didn't do this rally last year. They've done a number of the circuit rallies in the last season with its familiar bark as it leaves the start line. Welcome to our live coverage of the opening round of the Circuit Rally Championship. This is the Neil Howard Rally. We're at Alton Park to start the season, and we've got a really good variety of cars, an all-star entry list for the opening round, and at the moment, fairly mild weather, but the rain is coming. 20 minutes or so, according to the weather forecast, and that will really mix things up, particularly as you watch the Darien there of Jason Wilson and Lee Wilson through. That will really mix things up, particularly for the two-wheel drive cars. Martin Hodgson, Catherine Booth, we saw them through in the Blue Mark II. They came 4th overall in the championship. They won their class 4 in the Circuit Rally Championship. The Circuit Championship back with a bang this year. You see James Garner and Jordan Joins through this first stage. Michael Igoe, absolutely flat chat with Will Atkins alongside in that Rally 2 Fiesta, coming around for his 3rd run through. He'll now split number 3 into the finish, and we'll see him back out for stage 2. If you normally join us for traditional multi-venue rallying, as we call it, in the sport, in the forests and on the asphalt, this is something a little bit different, and the cars will be coming thick and fast. They're setting off at 30-second intervals, and once they get out there on the stage and we've got the 3 splits to contend with, we're going to have literally cars everywhere, as you can see. So as you can see on the screen at the moment, we've got the 2 bits of live coverage. We've got the circuit bit at the moment and also the slippery section of Rally School in the middle. And we will have a 3rd camera as well at different points of the day. Start and finish of the stage, and with some interviews so we can get some reaction from our crews as well. We are trialling this new set. I say trialling, it's out in anger this weekend, this new setup here at Special Stage, giving you a 3-dimensional view of the action, starting here in the Circuit Rally Championship. Steve Simpson, Chris Williams into the finish. We will also keep you updated on the results as we go as well. Hello to those of you joining us at home. Linda Mather, Chris Jordan, Paul Walker, Mark Brown, Callum Anderson, Philip Roberts, Rick Shaw. Charith Panagoda is asking, what country is this? This is England. This is Cheshire, to be exact. It's in the northwest, and I can understand anybody looking at the screen thinking, wow, it doesn't look like Cheshire in the northwest of England in November. It's fairly mild, but I can tell you that the rain has started, which is the reason for the short silence there as we made our way back to the studio van. We're based down in the pit lane here at Alton Park as we bring you this multi-camera setup. Jason Wilson, Lee Wilson are into the finish. Steve Simpson, Chris Williams. You can see Chris Woodhouse and Alan Gilbert, who came 15th overall. Impressive first in class this time last year in that Peugeot 208 R2 on your screens at the moment. Jackson Willett, Ryan Gray in the Clio, taking more than a handful of curb through that slippery rally school section. You may remember this is the bit that has caught people out, just as those cars transition from the rally school section of the venue back onto the circuit. That has caught people out in the past, and MSV had to do a bit of work on the drop between the two surfaces, because there was quite a bump on one particular year. You may remember the jeopardy from that. Alistair Sable's there with Neil Jones alongside in that glorious wide, very sideways. You see how slippery it is there under the trees on the leaves. Vauxhall Chevette HSR. Will Rowlands is watching from the gym. After Rally Keradicki on his arms, couldn't take any more pain. I don't believe you, mate. Get out of that gym and get back in a rally car. Hello to David Bramhill, watching from home while his son Phil freezes his digits off, filming here. It's Phil's local circuit. He loves Oulton Park, as do we all. Traditional start of the Circuit Rally Championship this year. It's no different here at the Neil Howard Rally. Stephen Sawley, Rob Johnson have got a bit of bodywork or something flapping from the front of that Mark II Escort. Can't quite see what that was. Doesn't look anything major, does it? Maybe just clipped one of those chicane bales or tyres on the inside of the stage somewhere. Chris Woodward, Kevin Aiken making their way through in the Clio R3. It sounds formidable, that thing, popping and banging when it was on the start line. If you're just tuning in, this is the opening round of the Circuit Rally Championship. The MGJ Circuit Rally Championship. It's the Salford Van Hire Neil Howard Rally. And we are here at Oulton Park, where we kick off the Winter Rally Series on the race circuits around the UK. Another packed calendar for you this year. If you thought that rallying was a summer-only sport, you were very much mistaken. Round one, here we are, 4th of November here at Oulton Park. Round two is in a couple of weeks at Cadwell Park, best race circuit in the world, just saying. 19th of November at the North Humberside Motor Club Cadwell Stages Rally. Then at round three, we're over to Donington Park. Northside Truck and Van Donington Rally, 3rd of December. Round 4, the MGJ Engineering Brands Hatch Winter Stages, the Circuit Rally Championship sponsors' own home rally. That's on the 20th of January. We've got a small matter of Christmas in between. A bit of time to enjoy a mince pie or two and get those cars re-prepped. The traditional winter prep time no longer a thing if you're doing circuit rallying as well as traditional asphalt and gravel rallying, as many of our crews do these days. No longer is single venue a sport for a select few that just do the circuits and just do the single venues. People like Mark Kelly, Steve Simpson, and many others actually mixing their rallying up now between this Winter Circuit Rally Championship and the traditional rounds on the asphalt in the Pro Tyre Motorsport UK Asphalt Rally Championship and even the BTRDA Gravel Rally Championship as well. So after we visit Brands Hatch in January, we've got not a very big break, and then we're over down to Norfolk for Snetterton. The Snetterton Stages Rally for the 5th round on the 10th of February. Lee Holland Stages Rally comes our way from Anglesey on the 3rd of March. And then round 7 is back at Donington Park. This time it's the Dukeries Rally on the 17th of March before we head back to Cadwell Park for the second visit there at the end of March, 31st. And we round things off in the Circuit Rally Championship at the Ultratech SMC Stages back at Anglesey on the 14th of April. James Garner joins into the finish. Martin Hodgson and Catherine Booth have a real problem with that Mark II Escort. It sounds literally like a tractor. You may have heard it out there on the stage as you see Kimberly Mather, Yvonne Mather in that absolutely wonderful Mopar period liveried Chrysler Sunbeam Lotus. Sarah Crabtree and I drove a couple of Lotus Sunbeam rally cars in the next series of the Great British Car Share, and such an iconic car. And Kim and Yvonne look like they're having fun out there in that one. Dan Elmore, hello to you, mate. You should be out here in the 6R4, loving the 2-screen coverage. We've got 3 cameras to put on that screen for you at some parts of the day. We will be doing some stage end interviews at some point during the rally. Yep, we're just feeling our way into this new format. There's a lot going on, as you can imagine. Producer Wayne is, I think he thought he would have a quieter time, sat in a studio van, just watching the action and flicking between the various feeds. He's like a pianist. I hope that the signal stayed strong for that bit. I don't want to get that word wrong, talking about the boss. But he's madly flicking between feeds, looking at various bits of content we've got to put out during the day. It's just busy in here. Adrian Spencer, Mark Hewitt are into the finish. I will bring you some results in a minute. Jake Wilson says, coverage looks great, nice distraction from the Moulton preps. Talking to Sean Cunniff just now, who's in with Robert Hughes. He's finishing here and he's hot-futting it over to Yorkshire. It's not too far, is it? For the Moulton Forest Rally. We're gutted, actually. We were due to be bringing you live coverage from Moulton tomorrow, which would have made it a very busy weekend, but a glorious one at that. David Davies and Rich Jones into the finish, and that fantastic-looking BMW 1M. Saw one of those go for, well, at least go up for sale for 100 grand the other day. We've reached peak BMW 1M mode, haven't we, at that? God almighty. 100 grand! Yeah, we were going to be bringing you coverage of Moulton tomorrow. We're not now. As you see, Justin Brooks, Dan Evans in that Works liveried. Very smart looking. Vauxhall Nova out on the rally school section of the stage. Mike Gilman, Ian Douglas as well in the second camera on your screen in the Darien T9. Seems strange seeing the short tail, should we refer to them as we're at a race circuit, the short tail Dariens, doesn't it? We're so used to seeing the long tail GTRs these days, aren't we? And I've got to mention Joseph Duffy and Daniel Duffy's Lotus Elise with what I think, I didn't have a look at it in the service area actually, what I think are spotlights on the roof. It almost has a Dakar look to it, doesn't it? Imagine that, a Dakar Lotus Elise. It reminds me of, have you seen the crossover off-road style Lamborghini Starato and the Porsche 911 that they're doing at the moment? They look like Tonka toys. And I'm here for that. Alistair Stables, Neil Jones, who came 19th, just scraped a top 20 finish overall here last year. 3rd in Class C, and their Chevette just make it into the finish. They were a podium finisher in the MGJ Circuit Rally Championship as well this last season. 1st in their class as well. There is that short-tailed Darien, which is made to look even shorter, isn't it, by that painted rear spoiler. I don't know, it reminds me of something, and I'm probably going to offend them if I tell you what, so I'm not going to do that, but it reminds me of another car. See if you can guess what the orange Darien reminds me of with that strange rear spoiler setup. Hello to Mick Johnson, Adrian back. Adrian watching from Dudley with a nice cup of tea in front of his fireplace. Hopes we are keeping warm. Appreciate the sentiment. It's actually fairly mild, to be honest, for this time of year in the northwest of England. Normally at this first round, I was saying to Mason as we were walking out here, into the paddock at Alton Park, that normally this first round, and I haven't done this for a couple of years, but this first round of the Circuit Rally Championship signals winter for me. It's when things really start to take hold and get very cold out here when we're doing the live coverage, but weirdly it's not that cold. But I do appreciate the sentiment. Charlie Oldham looking forward to marshalling on the Moulton Forest Rally tomorrow. So we were meant to be out there filming. The event organisers did a little bit of a U-turn, decided they didn't want the live coverage of the rally tomorrow. Half thought about going over to spectate. Might still do that, but good luck to you if you're heading out and getting prepped ready for that one. So we will bring you some live coverage as promised. Some live results as promised. I will bring up the live results now, and we'll get a bit of a feel now. We've got some of most of the top end of the leaderboard, aren't they, into the finish. should get a bit of a feel. I did see Matthew Atkinson busy on the results as I walked down the pit lane this morning, which means the results will be absolutely spot on. If you go to the Salford Van Hire Neil Howard Rally website, you will be able to find the live results link on there. So at the moment then, with a 9-second lead after this first 6.5 mile blast the wrong way around the Alton Park circuit for the most part, Mark Kelly, Richard Scarborough, the man behind Witham Oils, one of our championship sponsors, they lead the way. Time of 7 seconds from our championship. I was going to say championship leaders, no, our reigning champions, newly crowned. As we get to this part of the season, it turns on his head a bit, doesn't it? We're talking about a championship which finishes just before the summer, starts again just as winter takes hold. John Griffiths, Emma Morrison, Charlotte Woodford, and read the live results. In second place, 9 seconds behind the Mark Kelly, Richard Scarborough, Skoda, and then in third place, Steve Simpson, Chris Williams, just a second behind Griffiths and Morrison. Good start from those two. Michael Igo, Will Atkins, they were on it through that first stage, but a little bit messy. They were squirming around under braking, perhaps just struggling with the grip a little bit. And for Michael Igo, who's more used to driving GT cars the right way around this Alton Park circuit, it's a bit of a baptism of fire. Didn't do this rally last year, Michael, but got some good results and indeed some wins on the other rounds. 10th overall in the championship as well in that Rally 2 Fiesta. So he and Will Atkins are currently 4th place. Paul Murrow, Callum Cross in 5th. Kieran Hankey and James Swallow, 6th place. Rob Hughes, Sean Cunniff are in 7th after this first stage, and the first of our Darians, the first of our two-wheel drive cars, Jason Wilson, Lee Wilson, who were going well, weren't they? In 8th place in that Darien, ahead of Graham Coffey, only 5 seconds ahead of Graham Coffey and John Cope. Graham, mentioned earlier, has been out of the seat for 12 months. The last rally he did was this one, and he came 9th place, exactly what he says on the door and exactly where he's sitting after the first stage today. David Burns, Steve Hallmark in that other Fiesta Rally 2. They are currently rounding out our top 10. And I do have to just stretch a little run down the results to 11th, because Phil House and Nick Beaumont in the Escort are putting in a stunning performance to be just 2 seconds behind Tony Robinson and Paul Spooner. Sorry, they're in 12th now. Tony Robinson and Paul Spooner dropping into 11th on the results in their R5 Skoda. So there we go, the results still coming through for this first 6.5 mile stage, but Mark Kelly and Richard Scarborough lead the way, 9 seconds ahead of our reigning champions, newly crowned just before the summer, John Griffiths and Emma Morrison. 2nd place, Steve Simpson. Chris Williams in 3rd. But it's tight, and that first stage sets up quite a battle for the day, with some crews, as I'm looking down that leaderboard, who will be fighting and certainly have got the pace and the tools to be moving the right way up the leaderboard through the afternoon. It's going to be an interesting day. That's a good start. Stage 1 complete for many of our crews here, the opening round of the MGJ Circuit Rally Championship. You can just see on your screens the sky is looking very moody. It's the rain is moving in. I've got a Subaru, I think. Is that Greg Williams? I'm not sure if you can see. Yeah, we've got a Subaru facing the wrong way on the stage. It's that first stage of the day. Let's try and get you a view of, I think it is Greg Williams in the Subaru that's facing the wrong way on the start-finish straight after that hairpin left off the start, providing a bit of a mobile chicane for our crews. Or is it? Well, I'm probably being unfair there. I think trying to work out who that is. I think it's actually Anthony Topham and Charlie Dunbar in the Impreza who are facing the wrong way on the start-finish. You can just see there that Subaru Marshall's just getting that Impreza moved from, well, it's not a very nice location as Greg Williams comes into the finish. Very unfair of me, wasn't it, to see a Subaru and from the distance where I am in the studio van, assume it was Greg Williams. It's not. It's Anthony Topham and Charlie Dunbar, and you can see the Marshals are just pushing that Impreza off the stage. Fair play to everyone out marshalling today and to the guys safely getting that car out of the way. It's not a nice place to be having to manoeuvre a car. I'm not sure so soon into the stage after a hairpin left what's happened there, but as you can see, it doesn't look like he's hit anything. There's obviously just a problem with the car. Mick Johnson's watching from sunny Suffolk. Is it sunny there? How do you guys have the weather at the moment? Tell you what, that Mitsubishi Lancer, I've taken a picture of it in the pit garage of Neil Philpotts and Stuart McMaster. The orange Lancer 2000. That is some car. The prep on it's glorious, and with its wide arches and that big square air dam at the front, that is an absolute beaut. I was delighted when I saw that on the entry list, and equally so when I saw it in the pit garage. And doesn't it sound and look good out there on this Alton Park stage? If you're just tuning in, good to have you with us. This is the opening round of the 2023-24 MGJ Circuit Rally Championship. The now fairly traditional winter rally series, which is sandwiched quite nicely between our traditional seasons, the Pro Tyre Motorsport UK Asphalt Rally Championship and the BTRDA Gravel Championships as well. And as I mentioned earlier, a number of our crews who perhaps used to just do single venues and circuit rallies are now doing both. So you've got a number of crews out there who are fighting for honours on these as well as the bigger, more traditional multi-venue rallies that we're covering here on Special Stage during the year. Mark Kelly, Richard Scarborough then lead the way so far after 6.5 miles through the first layout here at Alton Park, which is a wrong direction blast around the circuit with a bit of a loop on that slippery rally school section in the middle of the venue. If you're familiar with it, if you're not, believe me or me, it is slippery. I drove a Metro 6R4 around there, and it's fairly impossible to drive in a straight line. That's why you're seeing so many, and you're looking at it on your screen now. You see the Porsche just, Martin Fox, Lauren Hewitt in the Porsche Cayman just struggling to keep that back end in check because it's under the trees as you leave that and get back onto the circuit. It's extremely slippery anyway. It's got bits of glass apparently in the surface, in that tarmac surface to make it slippery. I don't know how true that is. When I worked at MSV, that was a myth, perhaps, that was being peddled. Don't know how true it is. I'll find that out for you. But it is extremely slippery. It's designed to be. And that's fine by us because it provides, as you can see, great entertainment. Cars are setting off at 30-second intervals here, so all day you're going to have a real mix of coverage. You're going to have some variety and you're going to have action thick and fast. We're going to cover 3 stages on this morning's live stream, then we're going to have a break during the middle 2 stages of the day to do some work on the TV shows. We're kind of mixing ranks this year. We did a lot of live only in 2023, but as we head into
2024, and as we are here at the back end of the season, although it's the start of the circuit rally and the winter rally season, we're going to be doing a lot more highlight packages again as well, so it's going to be a busy old season coming up, but that means plenty of rally coverage for you guys at home, live and recorded coverage after the events as well, which is great news. So we're going to break during the middle part of the day, and you'll lose a couple of stages while we do some of that work, and then we'll be back live this afternoon for stages 6, 7 and 8, and it'll be spotlights bolted on as we go through into certainly stage 8 and probably stage 7 as well for that second live stream. So 3 stages this morning on the live stream. Don't go anywhere. We've got loads of action for you at the first round of the MGJ Circuit Rally Championship. This is the Neil Howard Rally from Alton Park, a rally which 11 years ago I actually won with Graham Coffey in the Sweden Petter Solberg Subaru Impreza S12B World Rally car. No World Rally cars here today, which is sad. We do lament the passing of that era when the World Rally cars ruled the roost in national rallying, and here on the Circuit Rally Championship as well. It's very much World Rally Championship machinery though, out there doing the business. From the Skoda Fabia R5 currently leading, of Mark Kelly and Richard Scarborough, to the Fiesta R5 and of John Griffiths and Emma Morrison, our reigning champions, in second place, and the Fiesta Rally 2 currently sitting in third place of Stephen Simpson and Chris Williams. A nice mix of current and recent WRC tech. Hello to Emily Innes, who's tuned in to watch Car 86, Lucy Wilding, Lilia Innes in the Vauxhall Nova. All lady crew. And they've been looking forward to this round. See from them shortly on the stage. I noticed a DC5 Integra, one of my favourite cars, in the pit lane earlier. That'll be Rob Burgess and Tony Edgerton. That's an interesting car to see out here on the stages, and that's what the MGJ Engineering Circuit Rally Championship does. Just encourages a few different cars. Look at that Lancer 2000 we were talking about. You're not going to see that in the forest. We get a chance to see these cars in action during the winter on this series, and that's one thing that's always really attracted me to this championship, is the variety that it does attract. You can still see, can't you, just how slippery, even as we go further through the leaderboard, that infield section, the rally school section here at Alton Park is. Stubbs, Rhys Edwards, just tiptoeing their way through in that Mark II. And as I say, having driven a car on that surface, it's designed to be slippery, and boy, is it slippery. Tom Naylor, James Summers in the Fiesta ST, making a nice meal of things through there. Yeah, nicely done. Being chased down though by that Proton Saptria. Good looking rally cars, aren't they? James Durkin, Sam Weller, who were 15th in class. They were in a Fiesta ST last year, funnily enough. The crew in that Proton. Car 64 is John Deegan and Pauline Merrills. They're in a Subaru Justy. It might look like a Suzuki Swift. It's one of those weird manufacturer mashups. They decided, like the remember the Mazda 3 and the Ford Fiesta? It was one of them. And Subaru and Suzuki decided to share the exact same car. Subaru just put a four-wheel drive drivetrain underneath it, and that is the Subaru Justy. It looks good, actually, with its wide arches. And we know that in Suzuki form, those cars are quick. So with the four-wheel drive, probably a bit of a surprise car on the leaderboard for some out there competing today, a little Subaru. Mike Riley, Phil Goff, wipers on full. It is raining quite heavily here at Alton Park now, and ironically, that will probably make things less slippery. The old adage that is either dry or wet, somewhere in between is about the worst combination. I tell you what, Michael Stanley and Paul Gates were just giving us a very nice demonstration of exactly the opposite of what I just said. Fully drifting that Subaru Impreza onto the rally school section of this Alton Park stage. Up next, stage 2, it's another 6.5 mile blast with 3 splits on, including that infield section. And then stage 3 and 4 is where we mix things up. We get the infield tarmac section, but we've also got Deers Lead. We've got the gravel section at the back that runs almost parallel with the start-finish straight here at Alton Park, and we also add in, for extra drama, the water splash. Looking forward to that. You may remember the ducks, the famous ducks, in the video we did with Kathy Stewart way back in 2018, 5 years ago. Unbelievable. Wandering out to the start line, and George Shear's fantastic-looking Puma kit car is waiting to start the stage. Talking to Paul Sheard, his old man, this morning. It's taken a fair bit of work to get that Puma ready ahead of this round. So we're looking forward to seeing how that goes on the stage. As, the rain is very much set in here now, and it's pretty much set to stay for the whole day. A little bit of grass tracking going on there for Ian Jarvis and Harry Walshaw in the Mitsubishi Evo 9. Managing to get back on the circuit without too much fuss. Joshua Davey and Tamsin Davey have jumped out of a Darien and plumped for a Peugeot 107 for this season in the MGJ Engineering Circuit Rally Championship. And what a Peugeot 107 it is. Wide arches, 1600 engine. Will it be as fast and formidable as that Darien that they've been contesting these circuit rally events in, though? That remains to be seen. Michael Rust is in a dressing gown with a cuppa. Looking forward to spectating at Cadwell, enjoying the coverage. It'll be strange, as it was last year, not having you out competing, Michael, at Cadwell. He's a stalwart of the events over there. Kevin Wilson, James Worth in the Works liveried Lotus Sunbeam out there, looking splendid. Richard Perry, Julia Perry in the Nova SR as well. They've been going well. The last time Alton Park was used in the World Rally Championship was 2019. You may remember that. You may have been there like I was. It was a 2.5 mile opener for that year's event. Chris Meek was fastest round here. Thierry Neuville second. Petter Solberg in third place. What a top three that was. Before that, it was last used 20 years ago. In 1993, it was a 2.7 mile stage in those days, and it was a three-way equal fight coming out of Alton Park in the World Rally Championship. Juha Kankinen, Armin Schwartz and Francois Delacour on an equal time. coming out of Alton Park in 1993. Just imagine that, that's heady, isn't it? So you're watching a circuit rally, but it has real bloodline. It has World Rally Championship heritage as recent as 2019, and included in those heady stories of the 80s and 90s on the RAC rally. And when you look at it like that, it's some place to go rallying, isn't it? Getting towards proper RAC rally weather out there today as well. Chris Cooper, Victoria Swallow in the Mini Cooper S, keeping things neat and tidy out there. You're watching the Mitsubishi that was grass tracking a few minutes ago, being hounded by that beautiful escort of Matthew Honeyborn and James Curtis. Is down on the entry as a Mark II escort. I can tell you with absolute certainty that is very definitely a Mark I escort. I told you we'd have action thick and fast. Adrian Lloyd and George Howarth in the second of our Chevettes. Nice looking car, that. Off the rally school section and back onto the circuit. And there is that Puma kit car that I mentioned of George Sheard. First rally in that car, and it's got Ben Taylor alongside. It's proper kit car spec. Looks the part. Certainly seems to be going the part so far. Carl Williamson, Grace Pedley in their Satria, making that infield section look very grippy indeed. No sideways there. Here we go. Let's see what Anthony Cartwright and Brian Cartwright make of it in their Mark II. Very neat and tidy, you see. First stage of the day, you got 6.5 miles to make a dent on your campaign for the day. Lucas reversing lamp on that Mark II, interesting. Normally Mark I escorts, you see those on. Do like a good Lucas reversing lamp. Kay Thompson, who came second in class in the 1400 class on this rally last year, without her usual co-driver and partner in crime, Charlotte Wainwright, alongside. She has Robert Wiggins in with her here. She finished second, did Kay, in that Micra in the championship this season. In Class 1. Become a familiar sight out here on the stages of the MGJ Engineering Circuit Rally Championship. Bob Walker, Corey Jones in their BMW Compacts, pulling over on that slippery infield rally school section of the stage to allow a faster car through. If you're new to circuit rallying, if normally you're joining us for live coverage in the forest or on the asphalt with the Pro Tyre Motorsport UK Asphalt Rally Championship, you will notice that there's a lot of cars out there. The cars are starting at 30-second intervals. There's 2 splits back onto the stage and then a 3rd split into the finish, meaning effectively 3 laps, if we want to call them that. And for the purposes of explaining what's going on, perhaps we'll do that around the stage. Means that we can get the mileage up, but it does add a little bit of jeopardy if you come into a merge and end up with a car in your way, holding you up. It's just one of those things. Lots of sideways there for Bart Lang, or Bartholomew Lang for his Sunday name on the entry list this weekend. Phil Boyle alongside in the little 1300 Micra, really chucking that car around there. So yeah, you see cars splitting, effectively junctions through the stage, and that's why you'll see cars that aren't necessarily near each other on the entry list out there, very close to each other on the road. Simon Tattersall, Reese Brooks in the Escort, making mincemeat of that infield section. threading their way past Andrew Potts and Dave Wilkinson, who lost their clutch this time last year here at the opening round of the series at Alton Park. So we'll be looking for a smoother run through to get a finish on the board for the opening round of the championship this time around. As you can see at the bottom of the screen, we're cycling through the overall leaderboard to give you a feel for how things are looking. All part of the new format that we're bringing you here at Special Stage. Thank you to Kiss Dental and Williams Auctions, as well as MGJ Engineering, our sponsors of not only the championship but also of the live coverage for you this season. It's good, isn't it? Back in the day, rallying would stop for the winter and we'd all sit there twiddling our thumbs, staring at the wall, perhaps tinkering with the rally cars, getting ready for the following season. Now we get to go rallying all year round thanks to the rise in profile of these circuit rallies through the winter. Hello to Dale Crowsley, watching from a blustery Guernsey in the Channel Islands. Yeah, you guys have had the weather, haven't you? Hayden Morgan as well, good to have you with us. Roy Huller, Davey Dalton. Look out for that little Nova out there on the stage. We mentioned earlier of Lucy Wilding and Lilia Innes. Lilia's 15 years old, co-driving inside that 1400 Nova. That's some ride for a Saturday, isn't it, at that age? Good on you, Lilia, getting out there and competing. Great to have new names joining us in the sport and to see young people donning a helmet and jumping into a rally car. These circuit rallies are so accessible. A great way to start your rally adventure if you so wish to do. There's always a seat or two going as well in the championship, so fancy getting into the sport? This is a very good way of doing it. Michael Bowl, Izzy Lawrence in the Clio. Looks very slippery for them, doesn't it, out there? There's that little Nova that I mentioned. Nice dab of the brakes and taking a racing line out there. We've seen cars grass tracking already at that part of the stage, haven't we? And it is slippery out there, so nicely done by Lucy and Lilia. Xavier Brook, Sophie Landon in the MX-5. Again, it's amazing to watch the difference between some cars looking like they're Bambi on ice through that rally school section and some looking like they're just making mincemeat of it, and they somehow found some special tyres that work really nicely on a section of tarmac that's designed to be slippery as hell. Carrie Wells said, when did rallying ever stop over the winter? Well, the RAC, as it was the last rally, wasn't it, really, of the season? And then we all sort of twiddled our thumbs and stared at the wall for a bit. That's what I meant. I know it didn't really stop for the winter, but there was a winter break, shall we say, and the winter break is no longer there. We've actually got a bigger break in the summer from rallying than we have in the winter, but I know what you mean. I know what you're getting at. John Finch is tuned in, is cheering on Michael Igo. You can see scrolling along the bottom of the screen is your overall rally leaderboard at this opening round of the MGJ Engineering Circuit Rally Championship. George Sheard going well in that little Puma kit car. They worked hard to get that car ready for today, and it looks very well set up out there, doesn't it? Paul Sheard doesn't half know how to set up a car for these circuit rallies, having competed himself and fielded many, many cars over the last 8 or 9 years on these rallies in this championship. Oh, there's a lot of hot brakes going on down here at the finish. I think we've actually got, is that hot brakes or is that an overheating Proton Satria? I think Carl Williamson and Grace Pedley have got real problems here Do you know what? I think that's brakes. One, because I can smell it. I know you can't see it. It's not very good radio, this, but we've got that white Proton Satria you just saw on the stage just come into the finish, and no, I think that is overheating. We've got a lot of smoke, but it does smell hot as well. And Nathan Shaw spotted my Days of Thunder reference with the special tyres. At that second stop, Harry put on special tyres. Well, I can definitely smell brakes, so I'm going with brakes. Kay Thompson and Robert Wiggins are through the stage. Rob Hughes, Sean Cunniff were going well out there to sit in 7th, actually. Being chased down by Jason Wilson, just 5 seconds ahead of Graham Coffey, who sits exactly where he finished this time last year. The last time he climbed in a rally car as well. Mark Kelly leads the way then, Richard Scarborough alongside John Griffiths, Emma Morrison in 2nd place, 9 seconds behind. Steve Simpson just a second behind with Chris Williams alongside in the Fiesta Rally 2. Then it's Michael Igoe, Paul Murrow, Kieran Hankin, Rob Hughes, Jason Wilson in the first of the 2-wheel drive cars in that Darien, Graham Coffey and David Burns. That is your top 10 as we come towards the end of this opening stage of the Salford Van Hire Neil Howard Rally at Alton Park. The rain is now set in. It's no longer blue skies and nicely mild as I was describing it for this time of year. It's now very much RAC rally weather, which is quite fitting given that Alton Park featured many times in our round of the World Rally Championship. Sadly now missing Welcome back to Alton Park and the first round of the MGJ Engineering Circuit Rally Championship. It's the Neil Howard Rally, and our reigning champions, John Griffiths and Emma Morrison, have just left the start line to start their second stage. Another 6.5 mile blast the wrong way if you're used to Alton Park, around the circuit before splitting off just where the bridge and the bus stop chicane is onto that slippery rally school section. And there goes our reigning champion in that Fiesta R5. Michael Igoe, 4th place at the moment, and firing that Fiesta Rally 2, scrabbling for every bit of grip, using all of that technology underneath him to get into this second stage. 4th place, he won't be too happy with that, but it's very tight in the top 10 as we speak. Mark Kelly, Richard Scarborough lead the way, 9 seconds their advantage from our reigning champions. Steve Simpson and Chris Williams are in 3rd place in their Fiesta Rally 2. You can just see the cars on the start line here. After Michael Igoe, it's Paul Murrow and Callum Cross, Kieran Hankin behind him, James Swallow alongside, Rob Hughes, Sean Cunniff behind them. Then it's Jason Wilson, Lee Wilson, you see there in the first of our Darians. Graham Coffey, John Cope, 9th place at the moment. Graham was saying to me it's 12 months since he was last in the seat. He came 9th place on this rally last year, and he said it was his worst ever finish. Wasn't very happy with that, so he will not be happy with a 9th place to start things off after the first stage here. But we've got a whole load of action for you as the live coverage here on Special Stage continues at the opening round of the MGJ Engineering Circuit Rally Championship. Second stage is still the same layout from the first stage that you saw earlier. And we're going to bring you 2 cameras from inside that stage. See Michael Igoe threading his way through that extremely slippery rally school section of the stage. If you've ever driven on that stage, or you've been to one of the demonstrations here, I've driven a Metro 6L4 and that, it is incredibly slippery. It's designed to be so. So it adds a nice bit of challenge to these early stages. There is our rally leader, Mark Kelly. Richard Scarborough of Witham Oils alongside him in that Skoda Fabia R5. Mark Kelly mixing his single venue circuit rallying with full asphalt rallies during this season, and he's really found his feet in that Skoda, having taken overall victories in this last season. Oh, and as you see, Rob Hughes and Sean Cunniff proving my point nicely, managing to do a bit of grass tracking in the Fiesta and then managed to thread their way back through the water barrels that mark out the chicanes on this stage. We're going to bring you, oh, and again, really struggling with the grip, as you can see down there, Rob Hughes and Sean Cunniff. We're going to bring you some reaction from our drivers as they come through into this finish here. The cars are coming through to do their second split on this first layout of the Alton Park stage. Welcome back if you're just tuning back into our live coverage here at Special Stage. It is the opening round of the MGJ Engineering Circuit Rally Championship. It is the start of the now traditional Winter Rally Series, and as has become tradition, we're kicking things off here at Alton Park in Cheshire. The rain has given us a slight reprieve, but it is set to join us through the day. It's going to be slippery out here. As the cars come into the finish, we will bring you some reaction from a number of our crews, and we will stay live with you. As you see, Paul Murrow and Callum Cross stalling that Fiesta in the stage. So, a bit of a messy stage for some. Rob Hughes and Sean Cunniff, you saw them going off on the slippery rally school section of the stage, and there is Murrow and Callum Cross stopped on that section of the stage. Jason Wilson, Lee Wilson here making their way onto the stage in the Darien, nicely sideways, but doesn't look as slippery, does it, in a rear-wheel drive Darien as it does in a four-wheel drive Fiesta R5 at the moment, which is quite remarkable. We talk about it being Darien weather or not, and it's very much not Darien weather here today at Alton Park, but that Darien has been doing the business out there. Miff Owen is wishing David Davies and Cliff Evans best of luck. He should be here servicing for them, but work calls. You see Kieran Hankin and James Swallow, and you can just probably in the background hear the unmistakable tone of the DS3 R5 Evo. Jack Ives off the start line. That staccato launch control. Cars doing their second split around this 6.5 mile stage. The layout changes for stage 3. Up next, we add in the gravel section known as Deer's Leap, which runs parallel to the start-finish stage, so start-finish straight. We also add in the water splash. Looking forward to that. Tony Robinson, Paul Spooner, you can see on the stage. Oh, just getting a rear tyre onto the mud, sliding their way out of that corner on the rally school section. You don't want to be getting the rear tyre on the mud as Graham Coffey hammers past us. Hunting, perhaps, that leading Skoda Fabia R5. John Griffiths, Emma Morrison then into the stop line here. Our reigning champions here in the MGJ Engineering Circuit Rally Championship, currently lying second place. Coming out of the first stage. Oh, Jack Ives ever so sideways in the stage there. It's a strong start, that's how you defend a championship. Chasing position though.
Yeah, the first stage was just kind of a feely, just trying not to hit anything, but that stage was touched on a bit.
Big change in grip for you with the rain coming down between those two.
Actually, so yeah, no, grip felt really good actually, other than the skid pad, but that's the skid pad, but yeah, felt good.
Reigning champ, John Griffiths, Emma Morrison alongside, smile on his face, he's having fun out there. Michael Igo, Will Atkins. Fourth place after the first stage. Found things slippery out there, I could tell.
Yeah, no, definitely. Very slippy in the gateway there, but we just had a lot more stage on time. So, yeah, looking forward to the rest of the day ahead.
Got a water splash in the gravel section up next.
Yeah, it's all good. We'll take it in our stride.
Michael Igo, who is far more used to driving GT cars around this circuit. Will Atkins is far more used to being on the gravel alongside Ian Bainbridge in the BTRDA, both of them in that car. Big smile on your face. You were certainly doing the right things out there today.
Yeah, so far so good. It's dicey though, Paul, so not event since you win and then you're reminded that you can't get too far of it. So yeah, so far so good and we're enjoying it.
Have you got any pace in hand or are you really pushing?
No, there's not much more. No, there always is somewhere, isn't there? But no, the way that fell there, he's pretty much on it.
Mark Kelly, Richard Scarborough leading the way up to the first stage. We'll bring you an update on those results very shortly. Just getting some reaction from our crews. Steve Simpson and Chris Williams coming in hot into the flying finish there, squirming that Fiesta Rally 2 on the brakes into the stop line. See that Martini-ish liveried Fiesta Rally 2. Door open as he heads towards us. Steve, you're in the fight. I know that's where you like to be.
Just lost 10 or 15 seconds on the car behind us there. He won't let us pass. We just followed him for a lap and a half and just won't let us go at all.
Hazards of the occupation on these rallies.
It is indeed. We're all late to do a rally.
Apart from that, feeling your way in all right?
Yeah, we was going to be up there, but like I said, we've just lost quite a lot of time.
Steve, understandably,
frustrated? We mentioned this earlier, when you've got splits and merges, you do often have cars getting caught behind other cars. Well, you guys were doing a bit of grass tracking in there, weren't you?
Yeah, just it's not our day at the minute, I don't think. The car just doesn't feel right at the minute, and I lost a bit of brake pressure, so I was having to pump the brake every time before I brake and so yeah, not good.
Rob Hughes, a little bit grumpy, having struggled for grip through that tight rally school section. Paul Murrow was have a bit of an issue in that stage. Paul, you had a bit of an issue on the rally school section. You just stall it, or is there anything more?
No, just too much. Putting off in that rig, let go, just kept going.
All good apart from that. It's early days.
Early days. Yeah.
Still smiling, but he's going to get on it now. You're going to have to help me with that. We talk about it being Darien weather. This isn't Darien weather.
No, it is a bit slippy out there, like.
But you're making it look less slippy on the rally school section than the four-wheel drive cars.
Oh, right. It didn't feel that good, but yeah, the tyres are working well, so that's the main thing.
You've got a fire. You've certainly got your hands full with four-wheel drive cars around you.
Yeah, it is a bit of a challenge, but we'll fight as hard as we can, isn't it?
Jason and Lee Wilson, calm and managing to make it look very easy inside that Darien, and I bet it isn't. You've been struggling with steamed up windows, I can tell.
A little bit. It didn't really affect us, to be honest, but I did ask him if we had the heater on, and we did, so we'll get on a bit early for the next one. But yeah, great stage, fantastic to be back at Old Park. Yeah, nice and neat. Just build on this. Yeah, good start.
Nice start for you pace-wise as well, given who you've got around you and some real specialists on these stages.
Yeah, still finding our feet, so it's nice to be in that company. So we'll keep it, try and keep it up.
Nicely confident, Kieran Hankin inside at 2:08. Graham, you're starting the rally where you finished the rally last year at the moment, 9th place, just inside the top 10.
That's all right, because I've been in the car for 12 months, so it's going all right. Awesome, absolutely awesome in here.
What's the grip like?
Terrible, but absolutely shocking, but it's great.
Big push coming?
Perfect. He's doing a great job as well. You know, giving a lot of encouragement, which I don't need. You know, we need to slow down a bit, I think.
Seems strange seeing John Cope beside Graham Coffey. Perhaps giving him a few tips when things get emotional inside that Fiesta today. Tony, you happy enough with things out there?
Say that again?
You happy enough out there as things stand?
Yeah, you know, it's just a question of getting my head back into it, first round of the season, but yeah, it feels good because
some experience sat there beside you. Toby Robinson, Paul Spooner in the Skoda, just trying to get their head back into things. It looks quick out there, but it looks slippery.
Yeah, it's a bit trickier. Yeah, it's good. Okay, get a better stage that time with more heat and tyres. Trying to push on a bit more now.
Where are your sights set today?
Finishing. This has been a bit of bad omen on the rally for us. We don't usually finish very well here, or we get big trouble. So, hopefully, we passed the first stage. It's more than last year.
Will Owen happy with progress, given that he has finished the first stage, which is more than can be said for what happened last year. Well, you guys are pushing on. You've got steamed up glasses to prove it.
That's it, yeah. First time here in a four-wheel drive car, so we're just feeling it out.
It looks and sounds amazing, this thing out there.
Yeah, it's ace. Yeah.
Fun?
Loads of fun. Yeah.
So, that's the fun bit. Now you're going to get the hammer down, right?
I hope so.
Jack Ives got a big grin on his face. You know what? Something I like to see, because it's a real privilege to be able to drive rally cars like these. And I love nothing more than seeing people who are enjoying their rallying, because there's no point doing it if you're not enjoying yourself. To see someone enjoying themselves like that is great. Are you enjoying yourself, James?
Yeah, very nice. Very slippery though. Oh yeah, can't get no grip, but
whether it's Darien weather or not, there's plenty of you out there, so at least you're going to have a battle of your own, even if the four-wheel drive cars have it all their own way.
that's correct. Yeah. So it's all good at the moment. Anyway, we're not crashed. That's the main thing.
James Garner says, very slippery out there, which is exactly the response you'd expect from a Darien driver on a wet Alton Park. Well, Martin, what on earth is going on with this? It sounds like a tractor.
Exhaust problem, Tippets. I need to go and mend it, mate.
We saw in the first stage that Martin's having some issues with that exhaust. They're going to fix it now. You guys are really pushing on out there. Two-wheel drive and fighting inside that top 10 in the first stage at times.
Yeah, it was. It's been very good. I mean, we are instructors here, so we sort of know for the circuit side of things. Rallying's fairly new to us, but it's just so much fun. We did have a little touch. I've lost my mirror, so that's the only touch. That's the only touch we have all day. Then we're happy. So we'll just try and crack on. And when it gets darker on the right way round, hopefully that's where we'll come in a little bit more as well.
Equally though, Phil, you know that rally school section is designed to be slippery.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, 20 years of going around it, just it helps really.
There we go. Inside knowledge from Phil House and Nick Beaumont in that four-door Mark II Escort. And what a great-looking car that is. We're this side, aren't we? Good performance so far from you, David?
Well, I don't even know the car yet. We've only hired it for the day. So we had to spin on the hairpin of the first one. Yeah, having a ball.
That's okay. A bit of a spin on the hairpin. We can deal with that.
Yeah, not manual.
Is this a sign of things to come then?
Oh, let's hope so. Let's hope so.
There we go. Bit of a signal of intent there from David Burns. Sean, it's not a day to be in a two-wheel drive car chasing those four-wheel drives, but you're doing a good job of it.
Yeah, well, we're trying our best anyway, really, but it's a bit slippy on some of the corners. But yeah, we're trying to catch the big boys.
Yeah, well, we'll let you keep doing that. That Saxo is remarkably well prepared. I mentioned earlier, one of these BMW 1Ms went for 100 grand the other day. It's happened. David, you've got a lot of support out there on the live stream, people tuning in to see how you're doing.
It's very slippy out there, it's unreal, and 300 horse, quite heavy car, rear-wheel drive. Yeah, it's entertaining to say the least.
Look after it, because these things have suddenly shot up in value.
Yeah, by all means. I mean, it's a home-built car. The only thing I didn't do was paint it and do the engine wiring harness. I built the engine, did the diff, did the box, everything. Put the cage in it, so it's a proper home-built Clubman car.
Well, it's certainly going well, and when you've built it yourself, you've got a good idea of what it is that's heading towards the scenery when it's all going wrong. So you can understand, David, just backing things off ever so slightly. That's big smiles inside this little 208. You guys are going well.
Really annoying spin in the drift circuit, so that's obviously, it's dropped us quite a bit, to be honest. I think we were 4 off leading the class before, so I think...
You came in a Fiesta last year, didn't you? You were in a Fiesta last year, weren't you?
No, Escort. We won the 2 litre class last year, 15th overall, so we're hoping for a good day, but I can't keep driving like that.
Switching from rear-wheel drive to front-wheel drive and hoping to match this performance last year from 15th overall. Chris Woodhouse. Now then, Mr. Willett, you're having fun out there, I can tell.
Yeah, loads of fun, yeah. It's always good fun out from the car.
You're keeping it on the tarmac just. You got a wheel on the grass in that rally.
I'd be considering, yeah. It's been good.
I'm actually really enjoying watching how much people are enjoying themselves out there on the stage. Because, as I said before, it is a privilege to drive rally cars, so we want to see people enjoying themselves. Are you enjoying yourself, Adrian?
Well, I was now, but I wasn't after the first stage, because we made an almighty boom. I was going too fast and missed the spot, so we had to do another lap. So that's why it's dropped us down a bit. But yeah, we're here having fun. That's what it's all about. It's nice and slippy. What more do you want?
On a fast, short layout like this, you're best doing an extra lap than you are not doing enough and having a maximum.
Well, that's it. We could have taken a maximum, or if we'd turned around and done something really stupid, then we could have got excluded. So we just have to carry on and get more money for more value for my money. That's the truth. More mileage.
That sounds like you to a T. Adrian Spencer going an extra lap to get a bit more value for his money. Alistair Stables, who has been sliding this Chevette around there. You were on that rally school stage, you were doing exactly what this car was designed to do.
Yeah, thanks, Paul. Good stage. It's good fun. I like these conditions.
The car looks like you've really got it where you want it, because it looked like you were getting it all wrong and then you were just catching it perfect and slotting it through that gate post.
Thank you, Paul. Well, we hit that gate post 2 years ago, so it holds a certain fear for us. But now the car's really good, and it just feels from the first stage out, really happy with the way it's going.
And battle of the Chevettes out there today.
Yeah, I know. There's supposed to be 3, but Kevin couldn't make it. But I've not seen how the other one's doing. But yeah, nice to see.
There we go, first of our Chevettes. And what a glorious looking car that is. Alistair with a Space Saver spare tyre, which is first round of the championship. You don't get away without an interview. How's it going?
Oh, not very good. The first session we've been out, the tyres are wrong. We've about 12 seconds quicker there, so we'll see how it goes and we'll try our best. And as the day goes on, we've been out of it for a bit, so we'll stick as well as we can get at the time. But we'll see how the day goes. As long as we win at the end, I'll be happy.
There we go. As long as you're taking time out of yourself, you can then start taking time out of people around you. That's how this works. Now, Mr. Woodward, you've rearranged the side of this Clio somewhat. What was that, on a chicane?
Yeah, we're struggling with the rear for some reason on this second stage, and I lost the rear in 4th gear coming up to the chicane after the Shell oils and hit the barriers there. Well, wherever they are, like filled with water. Going really well till then, but something.
Well, luckily, you missed the bits that turn.
Yeah, thank God for that. Front end's a deer end.
There we go. Just have a look down the side of that Clio. Certainly had a bit of rearrangement going on out there. The door open for cooling. It's hot work out there.
It's hot work. We put new tyres on for that last stage. I think we've saved about 32 minutes, 32 seconds or something quicker than we were the last time. So yeah, should have done it before, shouldn't I?
Tyres, when it gets to wet weather like this, are extremely important. Chris McCallum, Stephen Clark reporting exactly that. Matt, you had a few struggles out there, or are you okay?
It's a bit slippy at the rear. It's trying to get the temperature into the tyres. At the back is struggling a bit. The front's warm up nicely, but it's just struggling to get the warmth into the rears, and the drift section, it's just got absolutely no grip on there, so it's just biding your time through that section.
I'd say it's the same for everyone, but it seems to be a really unusual mix of people finding grip and people not.
Yeah, I think it's depended on tyre choice and a few other things, because my sister in the Micra, she said she's got loads of grip and she's on a softer compound, so one of those.
Of course, Matt talking about Kay Thompson. I didn't actually know they were brother and sister. Kay was 3rd place at the moment in the 1400 class. This is the perfect car for slotting around a very slippery rally school stage at Alton Park, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah. We're having great fun as well. Yeah.
What's your fight today?
We want to beat Sean. Car 1. We're trying to beat Sean in the Saxo, because he always beats us.
Okay, well, that's what we'll be keeping an eye on then. Trying to beat Sean, Louis Baines and Chris Coombs. Trying to beat Sean in the Saxo. Now this thing looks special. It looks really good, and you guys were throwing it around out there as well.
Proper car, yeah, proper car this, yeah. It gets above its weight when it's like this conditions. Yeah, fabulous, love it.
Nicely sideways through the rally school section.
Yeah, a bit too much, because you're just wasting time doing that, unfortunately. But
we enjoyed it.
Yeah, well.
There we go. Again, watching people enjoying their rallying, exactly what we want to be seeing out here. I'll tell you what, these door handles get smaller. You enjoying yourself out there, Paul?
She gets tougher, yeah. We did a better run that time, so yeah, all good.
Back to getting inside the car. You spent a few years just running other people, and here you are climbing back in.
Yeah, a bit rusty to say the least. We went off in the early stages just before the rally stages, and unfortunately got no reverse, but we're good now. Collins Mega on the notes. Fabulous layout, so really enjoying it, mate.
Good stuff. Paul Sheard, the man who, if anyone knows how to pedal an MX-5 around Alton Park, it is him. Kim and Yvonne Mather were absolutely loving things out there in that Chrysler Sunbeam, weren't they? I'm not going to fit through there. We're going with the door open. It's Battle of the Darians out there, even if it's not Darien weather.
How'd you get him in a Darien?
Well, yeah, exactly. It's a bit like that joke, isn't it? How do you get an elephant in the freezer?
No, don't be like that.
Open the door. How do you get a giraffe in the freezer?
Get the elephant out.
Yeah, you can take the elephant out. It's very, very good, very logical, given you just on a rally stage. My kids told me that joke as well. It all went very bad there, didn't it? So how's it going out there on stage? You guys were managing to make it look like you had a lot of grip on that rally school section, where others didn't.
Really? Oh, well, I didn't think...
Neat and tidy.
Oh, well, yeah, we were trying to stay neat. Last year, we didn't get this far, actually. We took the windscreen out. It's a control board, and it took the windscreen out.
Explains why on the entry list says you retired because of your windscreen. I couldn't quite work that one out.
Yeah, unfortunately, it was a really heavy board right on the side of the track. We just took one wheel off the track, and it launched it into the windscreen. So that was our rally last year, so... Yeah, so we're happy to get further. Yeah,
it's progress. That's progress right there. At times, you almost made this look like a drift car out there.
Well, it pretty much is, really. It's rear-wheel drive, you know, plenty of power at the front. I just send it, really, and try and catch it.
Say no more. That's exactly what we want to hear. It's just sending it. Justin Middleton, Matthew Faulkner alongside. Keep going, Dave, keep going. Looking a little bit like you've done some grass tracking.
No, it's just very slippy, very dirty. Cuts in a few corners, but it's the first time out in a historic car, so I'm just having to try and get used to the old stick shift again in the BDA, so yeah.
It's a good-looking thing, and it looks lots of fun on the rally school section. You know that's designed to be slippery, so that's okay.
It's very slippery, but these Michelin tyres are helping.
There we go, plug, there we go. Somebody's got some money off some Michelin tyres there, you can tell. If you're just tuning in, this is the opening round of the MGJ Engineering Circuit Rally Championship. It is the Salford Van Hire Neil Howard Rally. The traditional start of this winter circuit rally series at Alton Park. And we have slightly bent looking Mitsubishi Evo. Tom, have you nudged something at the front end?
I think so. I think I caught that battle.
I think so, he's not committing.
Yeah, it's just really slippy and trying to get grips with the car. It's a bit hard work.
Interestingly, the four-wheel drive cars are looking like they're finding it more slippy than some of the two-wheel drive cars.
I can imagine it really, trying to get it in a straight line is quite hard.
Just send it.
Yeah, so I'll do my best.
Nervous laugh from the co-driver. Clearly, Tom doesn't need any encouragement to do that. We hope you're enjoying this new format where we're mixing stage-end interviews with some action and numerous camera angles as well. Adam, this thing is really well prepared. It looks fantastic. It looks a lot of fun out there as well.
It's very good fun. We've got the intercom now. It keeps going down. It went down stage 1 and it's gone down to stage 2. So
you look like your co-driver's practicing his hand signals.
Yeah, we've been trying, yeah.
Apart from that, okay?
All good, yeah. No complaints with the car. Just needs to try and get the intercom sorted.
You go and reacquaint each other in the service.
Thanks very much.
I don't know if you could see how well prepared that little micro of Adams is, but cracking looking little car. We know how good micros are, don't we? Tony, you look like you've been working hard in there, and it looked hard work as well.
Yeah, unfortunately on the first stage we ended up going around 3 times. This time's been a lot better. Hopefully we'll get better as play goes on.
Saying to Adrian Spencer, who did the same thing as you, that's better than not going round enough, because at least you're in control of getting the time back.
Yeah, no, we got an extra lap, didn't we?
That's it. Get more value for your money.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Tony Davies, Robbie Sanford, another pair doing an extra lap of the stage. If you go to the website rallies.info, you can get the live results. David, this is a very muddy looking Honda. Does this suggest to me you've been grass tracking?
Yeah, I've had a little bit of grass tracking, yeah. It's very slippy out there, very slippy. And I think the bias on the brakes as well was set on the rear a bit too much.
It's a good job you got a little knob there next to your steering wheel.
Oh, yeah, so we're all right, we're still in one piece.
There we go, smiling, still in one piece, bit of grass tracking, and he's got a nice big knob to adjust his brake bias, so those rally driver excuses will be back in the box by the time he comes back out. Christian, you guys are quite quick out there today, and it's one of those days where it's going to be slippery and wet all day, so to get some times on the board early on, good job.
Yeah, it's been quite slippery, but we're getting there bit by bit, yeah.
Famous car this, we've seen this on special stage lots. You remember Dylan Davies in this car in the BTRDA Rally Series. He's running that car today for Christian. Good, this is a car to have on a wet, slippery Alton Park, isn't it?
Good, it's pretty good today. Pretty good, more grip than I thought. Need to be a bit braver, but we're getting there.
That's the first person to say more grip than I thought. Everyone else has gone, there's no grip.
I don't know why, it just feels okay. We've had a couple of little tiny moments, but I think there's a bit more, but I'm not being arrogant. I'm going to keep going.
I love it. And in 1993, when they last used this in the World Rally Championship prior to 2019, cars like this are all over the place here.
Yeah, they're rare now, aren't they? They are rare.
There we go. 205 GTI in the proper colours. Rekindling what we would have seen 20 years ago when Juha Kankinen, Francois Delacour got equal times here in the RAC. Anyway, enough talking about RAC. You've got hot brakes.
I have. Yeah, I can smell them.
You've been working them hard.
Yeah, just a little. Yeah.
You pushing?
Wheel, it's a wheel. Oh, yeah. We had a little spin up first one, but I think we've made up for that.
It's all about getting out your system on the first one and then getting the hammer down, isn't it?
That's it, yeah, knowing what it was.
There we go. Lots of spins, lots of entertainment, and while some drivers have been getting more value for their money, we hope that you feel you're getting value for yours watching at home with all of this action. Dave, you guys smiling? You happy?
Yeah, a bit slippy on the first stage, but we're a lot better that stage.
That's what it's all about, isn't it? Improving and building on it.
The car held us up, but we are where we are. It is what it is.
There we go, that's exactly it. Occasionally you do get held up. It's a circuit rally. It's a single venue. Dave Allmark in that lovely looking Millington engined Escort with its brand new shiny Michelins. I'm looking forward to having a closer look at this little Peugeot 107 of Joshua and Tamsin Davey. Of course, last year had the Darien T90, and last couple of seasons actually. And they've got this really interesting looking Peugeot 107 now. This is the perfect car out there for conditions like these, isn't it? Front wheel drive, just enough power to have some fun and keep it straight.
It's good fun, it's good fun. Still slippy, we went backwards then. So, having fun though, that's what it's all about.
Where's your fight today? What are we looking for?
I'd like a top 10 in the class. That'll do me.
There we go. Colours well and truly nailed to the mast. At least leave it till stage 5 before running me over in the pit lane. How's it going out there, Battle of the MX-5s?
Good, yeah. That one was a lot better. We found a bit more grip. We had a lot of fun on that one, trying to keep it nice and smooth, pace up. So yeah, we'll see what you get. See what the other MXs want to show.
Trying to keep it nice and smooth. You're in a blooming MX-5.
Doesn't go together in the sense, does it really? But yeah.
Good stuff. Paul and Harriet enjoying themselves inside that Mazda. This Porsche Cayman of Martin Fox and Lauren Hewitt was ever so sideways on the first stage. Clearly I've been stood here entertaining you, hopefully you would agree, here in the pit lane, so I haven't seen how they've gone on stage 2, but we will ask them. That is the nature of the game. You guys were ever so sideways on that first stage. I haven't seen you through stage 2, but I'm guessing it was pretty much the same look at your face.
Horrendous. It's just undrivable, really. You just won't put the power down at all, and the throttle progression is very non-linear, so as soon as I touch the throttle, it's just back end just breaking away. It's just have to trundle around slowly.
You're driving a Porsche Cayman at a wet Alton Park on that rally school stage. You knew the risks.
Dangerous, but it's fun.
Dangerous, but fun. We'll go with that, won't we? Martin and Lauren can't get the power down in the Porsche Cayman. It's dangerous, but fun. I like that. Mikey, this car's been working hard. I can smell it. It's not smell-o-vision, but you'll have to believe me, it smells hot.
It's not very healthy. No.
That's your fault?
Misfire. I'm not sure.
You need to get that dried off before the next one, because you've got a water splash coming up.
Oh, yeah. Fingers crossed it'll be all right.
Apart from that, you've got a misfire that you're going to sort out, but apart from that, happy?
Yeah, it's all going well. Yeah, it's all going well. Happy?
It'd certainly be worse than a misfire. After 2 slippery stages here at Alton Park, can't it? Got a queue here going on. You guys have been working hard out there. It was nicely sideways in the first stage. I didn't see the second stage.
No, I had a spin. The first stage, we did the wrong spin, so we're trying to play catch-up now, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's good. That's very entertaining. Catch-up's good. We like catch-up. There we go. John, Alex Woodward are now playing catch-up. These little 106 Cup cars are perfect for these conditions, aren't they?
Yeah, it suits it well to drive. Yeah, it's going really well. Yeah.
No dramas?
No, it's a little bit slippy, but no, tyres pretty good.
We'll go with that, won't we? No dramas, it's a little bit slippy. Now this is this Lancer I was telling you about earlier. This is absolutely fabulous. I walked around this in the pit garage and I decided this is my car of the day. How is it out there on the stage?
Oh, very slippy with the turbo car rear wheel drive, yeah.
Just turbos plus slippery Alton Park. That's a lot of fun, isn't it?
Too slippy. They're having good fun going sideways, so that's the main thing.
And what makes you bring a Lancer 2000 like this out instead of getting something more conventional?
Oh, it's just old school. It's like old things. I'm old, so the car's old.
There we go. An inspired choice, Neil Philpott's in that really, really smart Lancer 2000. Look at it with its wide front arches and its big air dam style front splitter. I do like the way this car looks, but it's very clean without the graphics on. Having fun?
Yes, good, very good. Bit slippy in places too, but no, it's all right.
That, can't we?
Yeah, just about.
You know what you were getting?
Yeah, no. At least it hasn't been dry and wet. At least it's wet all the way through. No, it's good, so it's going all right at the moment.
There we go. Oh, cars everywhere. Keith Anglesey was throwing this car around as he usually does. You need to learn to drive it straight.
Well, we went grass tracking on the first stage, so we were a little bit more grip this time. Yep. So, but yeah, it's very slippy out there.
But you like it that way? We're used to seeing you chuck this car around now.
Yeah, it's very tail-happy being rear-wheel drive, but it's great fun.
There we go. Keith Anglesey, couldn't have said it better myself. It's very tail-happy, but it's good fun. We were talking to Alistair about Battle of the Chevettes, and he's got his eye on you.
Oh, right. Oh, yeah. It's very, very, very slippery. We've spun it a few times on the rally section. Really, just wait to have to check the tyre pressures, I think.
First stage, when you came into the rally school section, you were fully broadside. It was like watching the RAC 20 years ago.
Well, that's what we're here for, to please all the spectators.
Actually, it'll have been more than 20 years the last time a Chevette did the RAC rally, wasn't it? Adrian Lloyd, George Howarth, reporting that it's particularly slippery. There we go, Peter. How's that? You've kept your mirror attached this time.
What, sorry?
Your mirrors tend to come off.
Oh,
they normally come off. That's Charlotte. They normally come off.
Putting the mirrors on. I've been on a diet.
How's it gone?
Going great, but I had brain fade on the first bus stop chicane. I thought I was going straight through and I was turning left.
Is it brain fade or brake fade?
Brain fade. It's Alzheimer's. It's my age. for managers.
Well, Charlotte's still smiling, and as I say, you've got your mirrors attached, which is a remarkable thing. That's a narrow fit. Peter Taylor, Charlotte Wainwright. Charlotte normally in with Kay Thompson in the micro. Of course, Kay has got Robert Wiggins in with, Charlotte enjoys a bit of sideways action in that MX-5. Are you happy enough out there?
Yeah, it's all right. A bit slippy, a bit bit treacherous really, but we're getting there with it, learning a bit with it all. But yeah, it's good.
You came here in a Mark II Escort with a lot of power in his rear wheel. You knew what you were getting.
First time out as well. Yeah, first time in the rain, so yeah, it's good. Enjoyed it.
Good stuff. First time out. That's a formidable challenge, isn't it, Alex Stubbs? Rhys Edwards. First time out in that Mark II Escort. This isn't where we're used to seeing you.
It's not. I'm used to the forest.
How is it going in this little Fiesta?
It's going well. The car's doing all right. It's very slippy, but I'm glad my dad told me to buy some wets. Well, I say my dad bought me some wets.
Good lad.
Yeah, very nice of him. Yeah. But no, it's very slippy. Wise choice of the wets, but I'm hoping to be back in the forests next year.
Good stuff.
So, but no, it's going well.
There we go then. For now, it is the MGJ Engineering Circuit Rally Championship. But Tom Naylor and James Summers will be back in the forest. You heard it here first in that little Fiesta. Stephen, you guys are leading the class at the moment, and you were having fun out there, I could tell. So those two things don't normally go together in wet weather.
No, you don't know. You're absolutely right. We are having an absolute blast. It is such a mega event. New car for me, first time out. So, yeah, we're having fun. It's going well.
We've got a few drivers who are used to doing this circuit the right way around. You're one of them, of course. It must be very strange for a racing driver going the wrong way on Alton Park.
Yeah, it is absolutely. Although on occasions I have gone the wrong way when I was circuit racing.
Stephen, a man who knows his way around Alton Park in a racing car. Here he is with Lucy Gutteridge alongside in that Impreza and leading the class as things stand. I was trying to look where you were in your class because I was looking earlier and I couldn't find it, John, but you were going well earlier, I'll say that much.
Yeah, well, we're still going, that's the main thing, so yeah, just keep it up and hopefully just stay in one place.
You seem to find quite a lot of grip out there. I know it's four-wheel drive, isn't it?
Yeah, well, I don't know, it just seems, yeah, it's front-wheel drive, but yeah, it just seems to, It's a bit rear wheelie as well, but yeah, back end's out all over the place. So
John just seeming like he's, with Paulie Merrill's last time, seeming like he's finding some grip. I said earlier that the Subaru Justices were four-wheel drive. Of course, the Suzuki Swift versions weren't, were they? It was the earlier ones that were four-wheel drive. How's it going, Professor?
it's going okay, actually. The first stage was a bit slippy, had a couple of mishaps, but the last one, much smoother, much more grip. Felt much more confident with that one.
You've got a lot of technology crammed into this old car.
Yeah. It looks old, but a lot of it's. In fact, the fire extinguisher only went in this morning, so there's quite a lot of new stuff in here now. Yeah.
Well, it's not something you're hopefully going to have to use today, so we'll stick with that. Mike Riley, Phil Goff in a surprisingly modern. Well, Ian, at times I couldn't tell if you were rally driving or rally crossing, especially in that first stage.
Well, we were okay. We were on the first lap we were on the grass. So it's not like that in the hole.
You were lucky, though. You managed to thread it back on without hitting any of the chicane.
Yeah, it was very, very slippery. And we had a couple of spinners in front of us on that as well. So that was a bit... the difficulty is just knowing where they're going.
It's raining hard now as well. You can see the wipers on full blast. Michael Jones and Margaret Kelly have been grass tracking as well. I can tell you've got a bit of grass at the side of the car. Are you having fun?
Got a bit of grass up the side, I think, and I think we've clipped some sort of chicane there, so I don't know what damage is on the front, but we'll soon see anyway.
It's always the co-driver's side, isn't it? Always the co-driver's side. Right, now here's this little 107 that I've been looking forward to having a closer look at, because of course we saw them in a Darien last year. When I saw you on the entry list in a Peugeot 107, I figured it would look something like this. What's happened? Where's the Darien?
Well, the Darien didn't quite get there. We were a couple of days short. So we dragged us out last year when we were a bit bored and we got 1.6 GTI lump in it. So yeah, that's what
it's a monster.
That's what it is. It's standard gearbox. It's not very good. No power steering, so it's hard work. But it runs and we're having fun.
Happy enough out there?
Yeah, it's going all right. I love the way.
Joshua and Tamsin Davey, normally in the Darien in this wide-arched Peugeot 107, kind of a junior car on steroids. Now Richard Perry has been grass tracking a little bit today in this Nova. At the first stage,
yeah.
Good fun though.
Good fun, yeah. We can see where we're going now. We've cleared the misting up and sorted the intercom, so it's all good now.
And unusually, you've got good company. You've got some more Novas on the entry list to play with.
Sorry.
More Novas on the entry list than normal as well. Battle of the Novas.
Got to have a few quick Novas, haven't we?
Yeah, we have.
Yeah.
We don't normally get them these days, though. The Circuit Rally Championship, I mentioned earlier, is fantastic for variety, and as if to prove the point, here is a works liveried Lotus Sunbeam. Kev, this looks fantastic out there.
Thank you. It's taken a lot of time to get it like this. It's doing well. It's just a bit slippy.
You're getting used to it.
Yeah, we've just had an upgrade, new gearbox, flappy paddle, so it's different car slightly, but no, it's still good. Still good.
It's surprised to stick your head in what looks like a historic Sunbeam and you see these flappy paddles.
Yeah, well, you've got to sort of look right on the outside, but it'd be different on the inside, haven't you?
Yeah, well, yeah, a bit like armadillos or something. Another crew who were having a bit of a do in the first stage of the day. Craig Kennedy, Jonathan Kennedy alongside. They were grass tracking as well. Chris Cooper, Victoria Swallow were, as you remember from the first stage, remarkably keeping it on the straight and narrow, and you were looking like you had loads of grip in that Valley School section. No one else did.
Yeah, not too bad actually. Now we've found out where the grip is and where it isn't, so to speak. But yeah, good fun.
It smells like you found where the brakes are as well.
Yeah, I can smell them, I think. But yeah, good fun, enjoying it.
Thank you very much, Chris Cooper, Victoria Swallow in the first of our minis. We were going well out there, and as you heard, managing to find some grip remarkably. Now, you guys have been hounding some much quicker and more advanced machinery out there, haven't you?
Oh, we have indeed, yeah. We've had a lovely round, that just last one. The first lap we spun twice. I think we were a bit keen coming out the doors, but no, I really enjoyed that. It was super slippy out there, but...
In ermine white, if it is ermine white, Mark 1 Escort with bubble arches sideways in that Rally School section in the rain just looks fantastic.
I'm living the dream, yeah.
Living the dream. There we go. It's exactly what he's doing in that Mark 1. Matthew Honeyborn, James Curtis, living the dream. Anthony, another of our grass trackers this morning.
Yeah, just a bit. Oh yeah, well I got a bit bored on the first time round, so I thought we'd go round again, you know, just get the tyres warmed up, so yeah.
Did you do an extra lap?
Yeah, we thought we would, yeah. So yeah, it's kind of killed the day a bit, but it is what it is.
You get better value for money.
Of course you do, yeah. Yeah, 100%.
Hiya, Mum. You've still got smoke coming out. Is that overheating or something else?
Bleeding its way through at the minute, so we're just burning off excess. That's all.
Fine, okay.
Yeah.
There was a lot of smoke when you pulled in early. Very dramatic.
I got a bit worried, I'm not going to lie. Yeah.
Well, let you get back and sort that out. The Kyle Williamson and Grace Pedley, I mentioned earlier that car came in smoking and it's still smoking. George, your dad was a bit worried because you only just got this thing finished in time, but it's going well.
Yeah, we only made a driver error in the first one, so as long as we have no issues, we'll be happy with that throughout the day.
Do you feel like a Formula 2 rally driver staring at that dashboard?
Yeah, I wish. No, it's good, it's going well.
There we go. Fantastic looking car. Josh Sheard out in that new Puma kit car. It looks really well prepared, as you'd expect from the Sheards. Kate, Charlotte's abandoned you to go on playing rear-wheel drive. How's Bob getting on?
Yeah, really well, really getting on well. Yeah, it's been a good day so far. Hoping to get a finish and enjoy it, yeah.
Well, you took a podium here last year. In fact, I think you won the class last year. You took a podium, maybe second. You took a podium in the championship, and at the moment, I think you're sitting third in the class. It's going well.
Yeah, it's going really well. I didn't know that, so that's great. I enjoy it, and then afterwards we see where we are, and as long as we've got a finish and had fun, that's what we want.
Seems to be a good strategy. Kate Thompson, Bob Wiggins, alongside for today. Bob, he took a top 10 in class last year at this rally, and it's going well today so far. You're looking at the same sort of result.
Hoping for better, because last year we got forced off on the last stage in the dark and ended up in the Armco, so cost us a bit of time, but this year it's going a bit better, yeah, so fingers crossed.
Did you leave it primer just in case you hit the Armco again?
Pointless getting a top coat on it, so...
There we go. A cheap joke, but one that Bob seemed to enjoy, luckily. I didn't upset him too much. Bartholomew, we're using your Sunday name on the entry list today these days, I see.
Have I been naughty?
I don't know, it says Bartholomew Lang, so I'm thinking so.
I'm on my best behaviour today, representing the college with the students out here, so we've got to get it to the finish. So
the students are running the car?
The students are running the car, the students built the car, so they've done a great job. She's handling them.
Bart Lang, another man that you're used to seeing on our coverage, usually in the forests. He's on his best behaviour, he's got his Sunday name on the entry list. Simon, it's a bit muddy and the brakes smell very hot. You've been having fun, I can tell.
Yeah, it's good fun, very, very slippy, but take it cautiously and it's okay.
You're still smiling, though, 2 stages in a slippery Mark II Escort. That's why I like to see people enjoying themselves.
Yeah, we haven't bent it, that's why.
There we go. There's still time for that, but I'll say that very quietly. I don't want to give him any presenter's curse. So as you can see, action still underway on the stage as we head towards the closing part of this second stage of the day here at Alton Park. If you just tuned in, welcome to the Salford Van Hire Neil Howard Rally, the traditional start to the MGJ Engineering Circuit Rally Championship here at Alton Park, and as is customary, it is now very wet. You can see just here in the pit lane, the standing water. You can only imagine what it's like out there on the rally school section of the stage, and as you've seen from many of our drivers and heard from them, the story of the day is grip, and the fact that there, well, isn't much of it. But you knew what you were signing up for, didn't you? This is a winter rally series, and we're due a lot more of this action as we go through the series. We'll have more of this live coverage at every single round as well, I'm pleased to say. We hope you're enjoying the new format, the multi-camera format. And the brief interlude every now and again from our event championship sponsors. Wipers on full, lots of sideways out there. It's looking good.
It's very tricky out there, no doubt about it, very tricky.
But fun.
I'll let you know at the end.
Bit of rain in the Mark II, yeah, it's fun.
Bit of rain in the Mark II. Co-driver's happy, enjoying himself. Paul Yeomans, John Shepherd, enjoying themselves. I think he'll let us know at the end anyway. Steve, this thing looks like it's on monster truck tyres.
Yeah, it does very well.
You got plenty of grip out there?
There's plenty, yeah. Actually, I'm doing well with these tyres on, yeah.
You're about the only Mark II crew I've seen that hasn't been grass tracking.
Is that what it is? No, we've kept it on the... Yeah, so that keeps us good times, doesn't it?
Brilliant. Keep it going, keep it on the black stuff. We mentioned in the first stage, Steve Amory had somehow managed to make it look like he had a huge amount of grip. Lucy, how's it going?
Better second stage. First time driving the car, competitive. Lilia's only second event navigating.
15 years old?
15 years old. Yeah, she's spot on, to be fair.
How's it going, Lilia? All right?
Spun twice in the first stage. It's real slippery, but yeah, felt better on that one. I just can't master this hairpin down here yet. It's more like a 3-point turn for me at the moment.
That's okay, we'll handle that. Yeah. The rally school section, remarkably, you look like you had plenty of grip. Everyone else was going all over the place, and you were fine.
Driving on the handbrake. Yeah, thanks.
Lucy Wilding. And as she mentioned, Lilia alongside Lilia Innes is 15 years old doing her first rally. That's fantastic. Oh, did you stall it or did you just turn it off for us?
Turn it off, you. Too noisy.
How's it going?
That is but very, very slippery out there. Glad we're getting round, to be honest. Yeah, but yeah, have all good fun.
Good. I'm pleased you said that at the end because I was getting worried about you there. Everyone reporting it's slippery. Michael Bowl and Izzy Lawrence reporting exactly the same thing. But they're on the right tyres at least on those Michelin wets. Xavier, how's it going?
My first rally, all good so far.
I saw you looking like you were very nervous before the rally.
I was, yeah, definitely. First time, all new. My great co-driver Sophie is telling me what to do.
Sophie knows the way around, it's fine.
Awesome.
And you've got a good team running you as well because they know the way around these circuits.
Yeah, Paul Sheard Autos, really experienced in this, the MX-5s. So, yeah, so far, good car.
Xavier Brooks, Sophie Landon enjoying themselves. First rally in the MX-5, and remarkably, all of the MX-5s still have their wing mirrors attached. It's not something we're used to saying at this point in the event, is it? Oh, is he stopping? No, he's not stopping. I don't think that many of the crews at this end of the leaderboard are used to having a microphone stuck through the window, but we will be doing that as we go through this series. We're opening the door, Stephen. We're coming in. How's it going?
It's good, yeah. It's obviously a steep learning curve, but it's very slippy, and it's only my second event, so it's a lot to take in.
On the first stage, given it's only your second event, you came into that rally school section fully sideways.
Yes. I've calmed it down a little bit. It's just taming it down, but it's
keep doing that. We liked it.
Yeah, I'm not too sure if Johnny did, but it's it was lots of adrenaline after that one.
Johnny loved it. Johnny loved it. Keep it sideways. That Impreza was designed to go sideways, and it's been doing a fair bit of that today. Battle of the Minis out there. Have you been watching how the others have got on?
Not really, no, because I think we're the only 50 out anyway, so we're not really worried about the times, but we're just out having a great time. It's been brilliant.
And you look like you have plenty of grip as well compared to some.
There is. These are the Mini Challenge control tyres. They're only just a 30 quid Falcon. They're absolutely spot on in this rain. It's really good.
There you go. A 30 quid Falcon is all you need. All these people who will be watching the stream back when they're getting ready for the rest of the rally, all they need is a 30 quid Falcon. Wesley Guilford, Andrew Davies, enjoying themselves. How are we doing, guys? I think you co-drove on this event last year, didn't you?
Yeah.
How's it going in this side?
I cocked it up on the start, but it's all right.
You cocked it up. That's all right.
Yeah.
You've got more stages to get things back on track now. You look like you've been working hard, though. You look hot.
It's quite warm.
Yeah.
Plenty
of grip.
It's only a second rally, Paul, as well.
Second rally in the driver's seat. Yeah. You happy though?
It's all right.
Are you enjoying yourself?
Yeah. I did until I tapped that chicane.
There we go. Right. So we've got some frustration showing inside the car for Joe. He did co-drive on the event last year. This is a great looking car. I like seeing this. How's it going?
Slippery.
Yeah.
Yeah, very.
You'd be surprised to know that everybody said that so far.
Oh, I've been off twice.
So it's remarkably clean. So I don't know if the camera can pick it out, but we've got a really nice leather gear gaiter on this.
Look at the other side. No, on the outside.
Have you damaged it?
Yeah, a little bit.
You're still smiling, though.
Oh, that's what it's all about, isn't it?
There we go. So we've rearranged the Escort, but from this side at least, it looks really good. We do like a Mark 5, or is it a Mark 6? Mark 6 Escort. I'm getting myself in trouble for that. Lauren, are you happy enough out there?
Oh, it's a bit wet, isn't it? I am absolutely plopping it.
Yeah.
Oh, bloody fantastic.
Absolutely brilliant. Oh. You look good out there. You've got plenty of grip compared to some.
Yeah, a little bit.
Less grass than others.
Oh, well, that's something. That's a first.
Lauren, reporting, as we've heard so many times already today, that it's very, very slippery. Josh, the last time we spoke, you'd taken the car for a quick drive before the Manx, and you wish you hadn't. So it's going better today, isn't it?
It's going better today. We're here in one piece, so yeah, it's a good laugh. So only just, a few dramas, but we're here.
It was going well, and there were quite a few people on the live stream enjoying watching this car come out of the mist in that first stage.
Yeah, brilliant. Yeah, it's good fun, isn't it? Yeah. No worries.
Here we go. Leonie and Josh enjoying themselves in that little Mini Cooper S that we brought you coverage of on the Manx this year. So we're heading towards the closing stages of this second stage of the day here at the Salford Van Hire Neil Howard Rally. As you can see, we've still got cars on the stage, and we've got our last car here into the finish. Hannah Mycock and Daniel Niroda. Dan certainly knows his way around stages like this. In fact, no, we've still got another car on the stage. There's a little Nova out there, isn't there? There we go. That's how we do it. How's it going?
It's good. Yeah. It's wet, it's slippy, there's cars everywhere. It's like driving through carnage, but we've stayed the right side up. So
and he knows his way around anyway.
Yeah, he's a local. I've got the best guy sat next to me.
Thanks. You seem to be finding a bit of grip though, where others have struggled.
Yeah, I think I should be going a bit faster, so I should be losing the grip a bit more, to be honest. And we did do a nice little 360 at one point, but you obviously didn't see that, so I shouldn't have told you.
I'll be stuck down in the pit lane, but we'll watch that back. Thanks. There we go. Keep enjoying yourself. Hannah Mycock, Dan Niroda in the Silverstone Rally School Nissan Micra. It says on the back of that Micra, training champion since 1982. That's a good strap line, isn't it? And there we are. The marshals are getting set up, ready for the third stage of the day when we add in the water splash and we add in Deers Leap, the gravel section of this Alton Park stage. We'll leave you for a short ad break and we'll be back for stage 3 of this. Welcome back to the opening round of the MGJ Engineering Circuit Rally Championship. Winter rallying is go, and as you can see, we're at Alton Park, the traditional start now of this winter circuit rally series. It's the Salford Van Hire Neil Howard Rally, and as you can see, the cars are lined up on the stage, ready to start the third stage of the day. This is peak, this stage, because it's got Deers Leaping, it's got the gravel section, it's got the water splash, and it's still got that infield section, so it's got a bit of everything in this stage. This is the stage with it all here at Alton Park. A stage that, of course, is featured in the World Rally Championship. So we're in a good place to go rallying. If you've been joining us this morning, we hope you've enjoyed the action so far. It's been wet, it's been slippery, and I think it's been fairly exciting, hasn't it? And most of all, the crews have all had big beaming smiles. Most of them have had big beaming smiles on their faces, enjoying themselves out here on the stage, which is the main thing. Mark Kelly, Richard Scarborough still lead the way. They're now 11 seconds ahead of Michael Igoe and Will Atkins. John Griffiths, Emma Morrison, our reigning champions here in the MGJ Engineering Circuit Rally Championship, are in third place as things stand. Stephen Simpson and Chris Williams, we saw them get held up in that last stage behind Rob Hughes and Sean Cunniff. As a result, they've dropped back to fourth place. They've got a bit of work to do as well. They've got about 11 seconds to make up to those podium positions, but they know how to do that. Stephen knows how to win rallies in that Fiesta Rally 2, so we will see. Kieran Hankin, James Swallow, good pace from them in fifth place. And it's Jason Wilson, Lee Wilson. You can probably just know, you can't quite see behind me yet, but the Darien is just ready to poke its nose out, ready to start this stage. The first of our two-wheel drive cars, and remarkably finding the grip out there. Once the rain came down, though, it was easier. It's easier when it's all wet or all dry, isn't it? The in-between bit where we started the day was the treacherous part. Paul Murrow, Callum Cross behind them. Then it's Graham Coffey, John Cope, Tony Robinson and Paul Spooner rounding out the top 10. In Class F, Adam Philpott, Sean Rowlands lead the way as things stand. Richard Perry, Julia Perry behind them. And there's a good, again, 11 seconds splitting them at this stage. Kay Thompson, Robert Wiggins in third place. Robert having a bit of a do in that last stage. He's a hill climber. He just needs to learn to listen to the co-driver, and these guys will get their pace. Sorry, no, wrong one. I'm talking about Charlotte Wainwright in the MX-5, but we'll come to that. Sorry, Kay. Kay Thompson, Robert Wiggins, third place at the moment. Kay telling us that she normally listens at the end of the day to where she is, doesn't look during the day, just gets on with things, and it seems to be a good strategy because she took second in the championship by doing that, and here she is third place. Josh Dollymore and Leonie Marchbank over from the Isle of Man in the little Mini Cooper S in fourth place at the moment, only 6 seconds behind. Bart Lang in the Myerscough College car is on the same identical time as well. And then it's Lucy Wilding and Lilia Innes behind them in Class F. Class E, Sean Jones, Ivan Devine lead the way. Louis Baines, Chris Coombs, who are having fun out there in second place. Chris Woodhouse, Alan Gilbert are in third place. Then it's Chris Phillips, Sarah Hughes, Paul Sheard, Colin Stevens and Joshua Davey and Tamsin Davey in that interesting Peugeot 107. The marshals are just out on the stage completing the setup, final checks, and then we'll have the cars back on this third stage of the day. Class D, you won't be surprised to know that Jason and Lee Wilson lead the way in that blue Darien car number 7. Philip House, Nick Beaumont have been going well. They're instructors here at Alton Park. They've got a bit of insider knowledge, and now with this stage taking in the water splash and the gravel, well, they're going to enjoy themselves out here like they don't normally do when they're doing their day job, I'm sure. Jackson Willett, Ryan Gray behind them, and it's Matthew Thompson, Howard Pridmore, Mark Young and Joe Young. That's Class D. Class C, Will Owen and Chloe Thomas lead the way, and they're a good 22 seconds ahead of Alistair Stables and Neil Jones in the first of the Chevettes. James Garner, Jordan Joins in third place. Then it's Chris Woodward, Kevin Aikin, Martin Hodgson, Catherine Booth, who have got that exhaust sorted on the Escort, so we will see them back out. Stephen Johansson, Lucy Gutteridge, new car for them in that Impreza here. Stephen knows his way around the right way, and as he mentioned to us, when he's been racing, he sometimes knows his way the wrong way as well. They're leading the way in Class B. Christine Davies, Ethan Swidowski in second place, Tom Evans, Jack Morris in third, Ian Jarvis, Harry Walshaw in fourth, and then it's Craig Kennedy, Jonathan Kennedy in fifth place. Adrian Spencer just behind them with Mark Hewitt alongside. Obviously did that extra lap in the second stage of the day, just reporting that he was getting a bit of extra value for his money. So Mark Kelly and Richard Scarborough lead the way here overall at the opening round of the championship. It's been a blistering start for them, and just no struggles with grip at all in that Skoda. Richard, who represents one of the championship sponsors, Witham Oils, reporting that he's been in the Fiesta with Mark, but this Skoda is something else indeed. And Mark's pace is just coming on. He's mixing circuit rallying with asphalt rallying this season, and getting quicker and quicker. He's a man who knows how to win rallies out here on these race circuits, so we can expect more big pace from him this afternoon. Stephen Simpson got a bit of red mist going on in that car after being held up earlier. He'll be on a big push to try and get back into those podium positions. Michael Igoe as well wants to be getting a bit more pace. Seemed to be a little bit frustrated, didn't he, when we spoke to him after that second stage. John Griffiths, Emma Morrison, again, our reigning champs, don't need any introduction, know their way around, know how to win rallies and indeed championships here in this series, so they will be continuing, I'm sure, with that pace. They do have a penalty, having hit a chicane in the first stage of the day, Griffiths and Morrison in that Fiesta R5, interestingly. Allegedly, the drivers were told at the driver's briefing that there wouldn't be any penalties for just nudging a chicane ever so slightly, so that must have been a fair old whack from John and Emma to be getting a penalty delivered for that. So it's about 5.5 miles, this next layout of the stage, and as I say, it does take in the water splash, Deers Leap, and that infield section, which, as we know, the crews found so slippery. So they're going to start off the end of the pit lane like they did earlier. They're going to hairpin left once again, but this time just level with where I am now in the pit lane over the other side of the start-finish straight. There's a gap in the Armco. They're 90 right onto the gravel section, onto what's known as Deers Leap. And they're going to head on to that gravel section before then heading back. They go along the gravel section. There's a bit of a chicane, if you know that little section here at Alton Park. If you've watched anything here, you've wandered down there as a spectator. They'll go around a chicane under the bridge down there and then round the back of the grandstand, and they'll slot back onto the circuit. They'll slot back onto the circuit to go correct. I'm just looking at the map now. Split 1 and 2. I'm talking you through it. This is great radio, isn't it? Split 1 and 2, they will split right and they'll go the same direction that they did on that last stage, so the wrong way towards the bus stop chicane, and at the bridge they will take a 90 left, won't they, onto the slippery rally school section. And then they'll come back onto the circuit, go round a little bit like they did in the first stage of the day, although they won't take up in the longer section of the international circuit. They'll come back up towards Cascades and then back towards the merge near the start of the stage here where that hairpin is, and then back, as I say, onto that Deers Leap gravel section. So they're going to do that twice, and then they're going to split for the third time. They're going to split left and go down the start-finish straight, the correct direction, and then down here into the pit lane to finish the stage where they did earlier. So we will do a little bit similar to the first couple of stages. We'll give you some stage action with our multi-camera format here at Special Stage, and then we'll get a bit of reaction perhaps from our top 10 or so as they come here into the pit lane. Rallies.info is where you can find the live results, and we are go for stage 3 of the Salford Van Hire Neil Howard Rally. 5.5 miles, water splash, gravel, slippery rally school tarmac, and there is John Griffiths and Emma Morrison fully sideways. Nice wide line onto the gravel there. And we are away. Michael Igoe, Will Atkins start their stage.
Certainly earlier on the break, taking a narrower line into that junction right, and I'd say mine, that's quite as quick as John Griffith. That particular team is got onto the gravel now, and our rally leader, R3, launches into the stage as well. Let's go to Fabia, very right up against the code on the inside of the opening hairpin.
On your screens, you can see the water splash in the middle of this stage. It's become fairly well known in these parts. Not many single venue rallies have water splashes, do they? It's the I think it's the only circuit rally that's got a water splash, isn't it, Producer Wayne? Anglesy's got a jump, a big jump, and Alton Park is known for its water splash. Nathan Shaw says it must be cold. Paul's got a hat on. Well, actually, Richard from Witham Royals gave me a hat, so it'd be rude not to wear it for a stage or two, wouldn't it? It's not actually that cold. We're quite lucky here. Steve Simpson and Chris Williams were ever so sideways going onto the gravel. I know you can't see that on your screens. We're just waiting for the first car through into the water splash. Hello to Mark Brown, Edwina Thomas, Edison Gallegos, Scooby G. You guys enjoying our multi-camera format here at Special Stage? We're going to have plenty more of this as well. Just wait for the RAC. Very excited about what we're going to be bringing you for that. Right now, though, it's all about winter rallying as the MGJ Engineering Circuit Rally Championship gets underway here at Alton Park for the Salford Van Hire Neil Howard Rally. John Griffiths, Emma Morrison, just threading their way through that chicane at the top. And there you see Michael Igoe and Will Atkins. Heading down the hill. Michael, a man who's more used to driving GTs around here the right way, as we mentioned earlier, so that'll be a really strange feeling, heading down that section of racetrack in the opposite direction and having to slam on the brakes halfway down the straight. Mark Kelly then, with Richard Scarborough alongside, stringing together so far the perfect Saturday to get his championship campaign kicked off. So first split down near the water splash sees the cars head past it and bypass it, and then the second two laps around this stage they split onto the water splash, so you're going to see them down through Darcy's Dip. I do love the water splash. I'm looking forward to seeing the cars through. We'll see John Griffiths and Emma Morrison, currently third place, into that water splash first. Steve Simpson and Chris Williams really are throwing that Fiesta Rally 2 around. See Paul Murrow and Callum Cross there, who struggled a little bit this morning. Hello to you if you're watching at home, or if indeed you're watching in the pit garage or in the service area here in the paddock at Alton Park. There we go then. John Griffiths, Emma Morrison kicking things off in the water splash down there in front of the spectators. Second water splash as well on the exit. I'm not sure if that that was intended or if it's just a bit flooded. Looks good, doesn't it? You'll see the cars back through for a second time through that water splash. Michael Igo, Will Atkins, water coming out through the air intake vents on the bonnet of that Fiesta Rally 2. If you just tuned in, welcome to the opening round of the MGJ Engineering Circuit Rally Championship. We're here at Alton Park for the Salford Van Hire Neil Howard Rally. And our reigning champions, currently third place coming into this third stage, John Griffiths and Emma Morrison are now heading into the finish here in the pit lane. Showing us having a penalty for hitting a chicane in the first stage of the day. John won't be very pleased about that. They've got a job to do this weekend to get that championship title defence underway. How was that? You're a little bit wet in here.
Yeah, I understand we had the scoop open. I couldn't see for the last half of the stage. I just literally, and I could see a bit more than me. She was telling me where to go and physically went to break and turn, but I think we lost a chunk of time there. But
He's got an experienced co-driver. It's for those times when it matters. John Griffiths, Emma Morrison, as you hear there, having a real problem with the car steaming up at least halfway round that stage. Michael Igo has been pushing things, his mirror's hanging off.
Yeah, just caught a little barrel there on the infield, but yeah, no, an interesting stage that, so yeah, good, we'll see what the time looks like.
Used to water splashes at racetracks, ain't you?
No, definitely not.
Michael Igo, Will Atkins, seems to think he's gone well there. He's interested to see what the times are like. Here's our rally leader coming into this stage, Mark Kelly. How was that?
Yeah, very good. Yeah, no dramas. Enjoyed the gravel, enjoyed the water.
Plenty of theatre in that water splash.
It's good, you know. Yeah, sideways on the way in, so yeah, good fun.
Mark Kelly, Richard Scarborough, our rally leaders enjoying themselves. Said earlier, it's a privilege to be able to drive rally cars, and it's always nice to see people enjoying themselves doing just that. We'll bring you a bit of action from the gravel later in the day. Stephen Simpson, Chris Williams got held up, so we're looking for a good time through here. We haven't seen the time, Steve. How did it feel?
It was good until we spun it, so we lost 10, 15 seconds spinning, trying to catch it. There we go.
You're collecting the issues today. Steve Simpson, Chris Williams, frustrated yet again, but this time because I'm spinning the car and losing 10 or 15 seconds. Rob, is that better?
Yeah, much better. Night and day difference. It's amazing what a set of tyres does. Fixed a wheel bearing problem which we damaged in the last one, so yeah, hopefully we'll just try and crawl a little bit of time back, but it's ever so hard on single venues, so but we'll give it a go now.
Rob Hughes, Sean Cunniff back in the game. Amazing what a set of tyres does, he says. Well, they're your only contact with that playing surface, aren't they? Paul Moreau and Callum Cross, as we mentioned earlier, had a bit of a struggle through that first couple of stages. Wasn't the best first couple of stages, that was better, wasn't it?
A lot better, yeah, a lot better. Yeah.
Just grip or just getting to grips with it?
Well, just calming down, feeling it. You know, you just can't come in and just hit it, you've just got to feel it, haven't you? It's just, I'm a bit mad about first two, but anyway, we're right.
Big push on now from Paul Moreau, Callum Cross. They're happy with their performance and how that went through there. How was that?
Wet. Yeah, that water splash is a bit of fun, like.
Well, Darian's are built a bit like boats, so you should be fine.
Yeah, well, I've sealed all the holes up, so they stayed dry this time. But yeah, dry.
Fantastic position so far from Jason and Lee Wilson and Nadarian. And just when you get to this part of the stage and you've got the gravel and you've got the water splash, that's when it does become tricky for cars that are so low slung and tricky to drive anyway. Kieran, that seemed better.
Yeah, cracking stage, mega. Just unfortunately got behind that little Clio and had to just, back off through the gravel. But up to that, it was, enjoyed that. It's good. Yeah.
So as you can see, everybody reporting that this third stage of the day is going a lot better. The grip's there, and it's a nice compact stage this with lots going on. There's a lot going on in there, isn't there?
There's a great deal going on.
Your pace is getting better as well. You're happier now?
Yeah, I'm getting more of a feel for the car. Like I said last time, I've not driven the car for 12 months, so he's coming back now.
Graham Coffey, John Cope, and I do wonder how John is coping in the co-driver's seat. Graham missing a bit of the bodywork off the back of that Fiesta S2000 Turbo. Started life as an S2000 high revving, naturally aspirated European Rally Championship car. It's now got that turbo engine from Neil Horns. That was better, wasn't it?
Yeah, going pretty well, thank you. Enjoyed it down the gravel for a change, so yeah.
There's something about a water splash, isn't there?
Yeah, wet.
Tony Robinson, Paul Spooner. Will Owen was struggling through that first one. Is that better, Will?
Yeah, a lot better. Yeah. Liking a bit of loose stuff.
Yeah, a bit of loose stuff, and also that water splash.
I don't like the water splash, but there's not much water in it today, so that's lucky.
Will would like more water in the water splash. In fact, we'll just get a bit of reaction from Jack in the DS3 R5, and then which side are we at? The other side, aren't we? And then we'll get back to the action, just a bit of reaction from the top of our leaderboard. How was that, Jack?
It was really good, yeah, just trying to find the grip level through the gravel bit there. Pace is building as we go, so happy.
It looks twitchy.
Yeah, it's pretty twitchy.
There we go. Jack Ives enjoying his adventure in that DS3 R5 Evo. To remind you, this is shorter than the first stage layout. It's 5.5 miles. It includes that water splash and the gravel section known as Deer's Leap here at Alton Park. No spectators in that section. Apart from perhaps the grandstand at the end, I'm not sure. Normally quite a few spectators in there, but a bit different to usual. Let's have a look at how those times are shaping up then overall. If you go to rallies.info, you can do the same thing. So our top three remain in the same formation. Mark Kelly, Richard Scarborough leading the way now, 29 seconds ahead of Michael Igoe and Will Atkins. Skoda pair who've led from the start today, doing everything right so far. John Griffiths, Emma Morrison staying within touching distance almost of Michael Igoe and Will Atkins, back in third place. It was a 10-second penalty that they got. That 10 seconds, had it not been applied, we'll see them within 3 seconds of Igoe and Atkins. As it stands, they are 13 behind. Steve Simpson, Chris Williams, still in fourth place, but now 5 seconds back from John Griffiths. Emma Morrison, big push on there then from Steve. Kieran Hankin, James Swallow, just heard from them. It went much better apart from getting held up a slight bit, a little way back at the moment. In fifth place. In sixth, it's Paul Murray, Callum Cross. We heard from them. Things are getting back on track for them. Jason Wilson, Lee Wilson, still seventh place, leading the two-wheel drives in that Darien. A formidable performance from them. And another crew whose rally is seemingly back on track. Rob Hughes, Sean Cunniff in eighth place. as things stand, and ready to start putting a big push in, which will be a little bit of a worry for that Darien, keeping their eye on their mirrors for that Fiesta R5 to come chasing them down. Graham Coffey, though, still only 7 seconds back from Hughes and Cunniff in ninth. Ninth place, to remind you, is the position they took last year on this rally. The last time, indeed, that Graham was inside the car. And then Tony Robinson and Paul Spooner, another crew reporting that that went much better. Again, another further 5 seconds back from Graham Coffey. So it's really quite tight. Willow and Chloe Thomas, we saw them in the grey Escort then, Will naturally preferring the gravel on this stage. Only 7 seconds back. In 11th place, just outside the top 10. So that's your leaderboard as it stands. Back to the action, and as you can see, that water splash providing plenty of entertainment. We didn't manage to catch up with the Lotus Elise pair, did we? But as I suspected when we saw it through the first time, Joseph and Daniel Duffy from my neck of the woods in Northumberside Motor Club have got their spotlights bolted to the roof. They were 9th overall in the MGJ Engineering Circuit Rally Championship this season. I should say last season, shouldn't I? Oh, ever so sideways into the water splash there. Chris McCallum and Stephen Clark. They said, didn't they, that they were really struggling for grip out there this morning. It doesn't look like it's any different this afternoon, mind you. It's designed to be sideways into that water splash. Gravel in, and then water splash. Great fun. And great to watch as well. Mike Gilman and Ian Douglas in the Darien T9, who've been going well today. You can see at the bottom of the screen the current top 10 leaderboard scrolling across. There's Ian Woodward and Peter Hill. Absolutely throwing that green Escort through the water splash. Was used at least once when the Alton Park stage featured in the RAC Rally, when the venue here was part of the World Rally Championship back in the day. If you just tuned in, welcome to the Salford Van Hire Neil Howard Rally. This is the opening round of the MGJ Engineering Circuit Rally Championship. And we're live with you here on special stage at every single round of this exciting winter rally series. 30-second intervals means you've got action thick and fast. This is the third stage of the day, after which we will have a bit of a break for stage 4 and 5 while we do some work on the TV shows, which you can see afterwards. And then we'll be back in action from 2:30 this afternoon. There's Kim and Yvonne Mather, who reported earlier that they've been absolutely loving chucking that Chrysler Sunbeam Lotus around with its Mopar period livery. Looks the part, and it's certainly gone the part so far today. The water splash has dried up somewhat, hasn't it? Interestingly. Oh, I tell you what, that was some line through there, wasn't it? Completely sideways through the water splash for Justin Brooks and Dan Evans in the little 1600 Nova. Tom Evans and Jack Morris. And the Mitsubishi chasing down Joseph and Daniel Duffy in the Lotus Elise. Two different sets of splits and merges on this stage, which, although it's a mile shorter than the first stage layout of the day, this thing's extremely tricky inside the car. Really have to trust your co-driver on stages like these. And as a co-driver, you've got to have absolute confidence in calling the splits. We've seen already, haven't we, Adrian Spencer and others being caught out and doing too much mileage. If you get the split wrong and do too much, or if you get it wrong and do too little, you get stage maximum. And there's two opportunities for that in this stage. So that partnership inside the car does become really important. We've all been there. I remember having a bit of a fallout with my brother, who's co-driving for me at the time, and we missed a split on the... What rally would that have been? The Bill Cammock Memorial Rally at Manby, I think, and then we blew a water pipe off the back of the engine after that, and we thought it was a head gasket. Turned out to be an easier fix, but by the time we'd found it, we'd retired from the rally. So these things happen. Tony Davies, Robbie Sanford there in the Mitsubishi. We really have lost most of the water from the water splash there, haven't we? That was an interesting line there, wasn't it? A bit cheeky. Very cheeky there from Tom, taking a big chunk of grass. There's a big cut on the way out. See if David Hill and Philip Shaw do the same in their Honda Civic. You can see where the other crews have gone. No, you see, not taking quite as much of a cut. It's going to be a very muddy section of circuit. Oh, and we've got a spin. That was almost something a little bit more dramatic, wasn't it, from Justin Middleton and Matthew Faulkner. Getting that BMW all crossed up, coming through the water splash, and I don't know, have we got a damaged wheel at the front? No, it's just stuck on the grass. Marshall's having to push that E36 BMW. Jokingly said to him when he came into the stop line after stage 2 that it was pretty much looking like a drift car out there. And he said, well, it pretty much is a drift car. And I don't know if he was quite intending to demonstrate the point so vividly there, but demonstrate it he did, ever so sideways. And as you can see on the edge of the water splash, you have got the curbs, so you don't want to be bashing your way through there unless you can help it. There's Stephen Sawley and Rob Johnson. Red Escort. Another crew who've been going well today. Just see cars littering the side of the stage. It's been I think was that Mark Young, Joe Young alongside in the 205 GTI. You can see just parts up there. It's been a challenging morning so far. Seems to be a Mitsubishi thing, doesn't it? Taking a big handful of grass on the exit of the water splash there. Interesting line. I believe that was Ian Jarvis, wasn't it, with Harry Walshaw alongside. Yorkshire pair. They were 55th overall, 7th in class on last year's Neil Howard Rally. They are our Class 5 champions in that Mitsubishi Evo 9. Taking a good chunk of grass. I don't think that was them, actually, was it? That was... Sorry, no, it was Tony Davies, Robbie Sanford in that Mitsubishi. Apologies. Cars everywhere. Apologies to Ian Jarvis and Harry Walshaw. Interestingly, Martin Fox, with Lauren Hewitt alongside, in that Porsche Cayman, was reporting that just couldn't get any traction anywhere. And you can still see it's very tail happy. Christian Davies, Ethan Zdrojowski were having a lot of fun this morning in that Dylan Davies Subaru Impreza, and they seem to really be getting to grips with that car. First time in it, and really moving it around underneath them, going into that water splash. It was a perfect line. Tom Evans and Jack Morris are through into the finish. We'll give you another roundup of the results as they stand. You can see the top 10 leaderboards scrolling across the bottom of your screen. And we'll give you a class roundup in a short while. Just see the MSV staff desperately pumping water into Darcy's Dip, trying to fill that water splash back up to entertain the spectators down there, some of whom are dressed for it. In their winter wetsuits, looking at the front row of spectators there in front of the water splash. They were expecting to get wet, weren't they? We go from Alton Park to Cadwell Park for round 2 of the MGJ Engineering Circuit Rally Championship on the 19th of November, in a couple of weeks' time. If you fancy that, you can get advance tickets at a reduced rate now on the Cadwell Park website. And then on the 3rd of December, we're over the East Midlands for the Northside Truck and Van Donington Rally. It's the MGJ Engineering Home Rally at Brands Hatch, with the winter stages on the 20th of January after Christmas. Then it's Snetterton, Anglesey, Donington, Cadwell Park and Anglesey to round things off in that order. 9 rounds making up the 2023-24 MGJ Engineering Circuit Rally Championship, and that's how it looks. But right now we're at Alton Park, the scene of many a World Rally Championship stage, but today the scene of the opening round of the Circuit Rally Championship. It's the Salford Van Hire Neil Howard Rally, and this is stage 3. It's a 5.5 mile blast, taking in the water splash, the gravel section, Deers Leap, and the slippery infield rally school section of the venue here at Alton Park. There's Neil Philpott, Stuart McMaster in that glorious Lancer 2000 Turbo, reporting that as he came in after the second stage, 80s big turbo power in a lightweight car like that is interesting in these slippery conditions, to say the least. Having to work hard inside that Lancer just to keep it pointing in the right direction, but he's doing a good job of that so far. There's Paul Gorge, Harriet Worth in the Paul Sheard Motorsport Run Mazda MX-5. They were 13th in class on last year's Neil Howard Rally, 44th on the overall leaderboard. You saw as well there the second of the Chevettes, Adrian Lloyd, George Howarth. Let's have a quick look at some of the class results as they stand. Of course, we've still got cars coming through, but in Class B, Christian Davies, Ethan Zdrojowski lead the way there. And if I can get my phone onto full screen, I can even yeah, so currently 16 seconds behind them, Tom Evans and Jack Morris. They've got a 10-second penalty applied for hitting the chicane in this stage, actually. Evans and Morris, it'd be frustrating for them. They'd be within touching distance if it wasn't for that penalty being applied. The organisers having to really enforce that. So the Mitsubishi Lancer pair, we saw them take a big cut on the grass, and they've been penalised for hitting a chicane. Adrian Spencer, Mark Hewitt now up to 3rd place in that class. Only 6 seconds back. Oh no, they're not actually, are they? Because they did that extra lap earlier, so it's 1 minute and 6 seconds back. But 3rd in the class looks like good damage limitation to me. Tony Davies, Robbie Sanford. A bit further back than them. And Stephen Johansson and Lucy Guthridge haven't yet got a time on the board for this 3rd stage of the day. But we expect them to be up there fighting at the top once that time comes through. Will Owen, Chloe Thomas are having a good run. They said as much, didn't they, when we spoke to them just now. Lamenting, in fact, that there wasn't enough water in the water splash. Leading Class C at the moment from Alistair Stables, Neil Jones, who are quite a way back. Just under a minute back, in fact, in the grey Chevette. Martin Hodgson, Catherine Booth now with their exhaust fixed in 3rd place in Class C. It's James Garner, Jordan Joynes and Chris McCallum and Stephen Clark. 4th and 5th in that class. In Class D, Jason Wilson, Lee Wilson, Nat Darien leading the way from 7th overall. Back to Philip House and Nick Beaumont. It's a good old gap as well, 45 seconds, is it? Jackson Willett, Ryan Gray in 3rd at the moment in Class D, with Matthew Thompson and Howard Pridmore, Mike Gilman, Ian Douglas behind them. In Class E, it's very much a battle of the Saxos and Peugeot 106s, as we heard earlier from Louis Baines. Sean Jones, Ivan Devine currently leading the way with an, what's that, 19-second lead over Louis Baines, Chris Coombs, Saxo 106 in that order. Chris Woodhouse, Alan Gilbert getting used to that Peugeot 208 R2 after switching from the Mark II Escort in the last season. Only 3rd place in the class, only 6 seconds back from Baines and Coombs in the Peugeot 106, so they're certainly getting on well there. And then a bit of a gap back to Joseph Duffy and Daniel Duffy, where they're in a bit of a battle with Paul Sheard and Colin Stevens in Class E for 4th place at the moment. 2 seconds separating them after 3 stages. And as yet, no times in. Oh no, we've got 1 time now for Class F. So at the moment, Adam Philpott, Sean Rowlands are through, and we'll just wait for the rest of that class to get populated on the results before we give you an update there. Stephen Kirk, watching at home, says, watching from Nottinghamshire, that water splash looks tame. Yeah, the first few cars made a big splash, and it's because it's stopped raining actually, so it's taking a while. Oh, has it? No, it started again. Weather watch on special stage, yeah. It's taken a while to get that water splash back up to full capacity, so it is a little bit tame, but that's okay. Mark Brown's watching on YouTube at home on his TV. Andrew Thomas is watching from Pembrokeshire. Will Banks says, good luck to all ERO competitors. We are out in numbers. ERO. Remind me what that means, Will. It'll be a motor club, I'm sure.
Rain starting to roll back a bit more heavily now as well. I noticed just changed the conditions a little bit. Perhaps towards the end of the stage of perfect time. He's just heading through the chicane for Oldhall Corner. Real traffic jam, 4 cars trying to go up the road together. In the middle of all of that was number 60, Mazda, as they had that moment at the start of this stage, and the next car behind
Tony Davies is watching from Carmarthen. Good to have you with us, Tony. We're really pleased to be able to bring you this multi-camera footage. I know you guys are loving it at home. We're mixing some interviews in there with some reaction from our crews as well. We interviewed every single crew apart from the odd one that wanted to drive around us to get back to service earlier on after stage 2. And we'll do the same, probably in the middle of our loop of stages that we bring you this afternoon. So we are going to be live at 2:30 again when we go live for stages 6, 7 and 8 here at Alton Park. So if you haven't yet, if you're watching on Facebook, click the link underneath the stream to be notified when we go live and you won't miss a thing. John Deegan and Pauline Merrills made their way through the water splash. Here comes that lovely, historic Mark 1 escort. Matthew Honeyborn and James Curtis. Penny Honeyborn, I'm guessing, wife maybe, watching from home. Ash Valentine's watching from Western Australia. So cool seeing the older cars still having fun. Yeah, still doing the business as well. The great scenes with that Peugeot 107 of Joshua and Tamsin Davy through the water splash there. Yeah, the Lancer Turbo is definitely my car of the day. I always pick a car when it comes to a rally that I'd take home with me. I'm taking that one home with me today. It's quite a fine collection of cars that I've taken home from rallies this season, so it'll be in good company, believe you and me. Hey, I tell you what, I know which car I'll be taking home from the RAC already. Great to see that Seb Perez is going to be out in the Stratos. Those of you going out to that will be there with live coverage from the RAC. I'm looking forward to that, and we'll have the Top Gear Rally Report style live updates, and yes, we'll have the music. Very excited about that. Amazing how a piece of music can get you excited, but it does. Paul Marshall watching from Beverley. Good to have you with us, Paul. Nathan Smith. Shout out to Mad Martin Powell. Hasn't managed to get his car ready for this round, but presumably next round at Cadwell in a couple of weeks' time, Nathan. And Dennis Sanford Casey watching from home, normally out marshalling on just about every rally that I've been out on, but he's marshalling tomorrow on the Malton Forest rally. I knew you'd be out marshalling somewhere this weekend, Dennis. Enjoying the coverage, mirrored onto the telly. Border Motor Club are always out in force, and they've got a good group out marshalling tomorrow on the Malton Forest rally. And of course, they do run the Alan Healy Memorial Rally, which features in the MGJ Engineering Circuit Rally Championship as the penultimate round, round 8, on the 31st of March. And Cadwell Park is clearly the best racetrack in the world, so it's a great place to go rallying as well. Stands to reason. So Mark Kelly and Richard Scarborough still lead the way here in the Skoda Fabia R5. Michael Igoe, Will Atkins in a chasing position. Racing driver turned rally driver. But at the moment, he's going to have to use all of his knowledge of this race circuit in order to overhaul, if he's to overhaul, the lead of this rally. Currently 29 seconds back in second place in the Fiesta Rally 2 with Will Atkins alongside John Griffiths, Emma Morrison, our reigning MGJ Engineering Circuit Rally champions, back in third place. And if it wasn't for their 10-second penalty, they'd be within touching distance of that Rally 2 Fiesta up ahead. Steve Simpson, Chris Williams, 5 seconds back from our champions in fourth place. But the fight very much on for 6th, 7th, 8th and 9th places. Those places split by a total of 11 seconds. It's 1 second between Paul Murrow and Callum Cross, Jason Wilson and Lee Wilson in the Fiesta R5 and the Darien in 6th and 7th. And just a further 3 seconds back to Rob Hughes and Sean Cunliffe, who are now getting their rally back on track in 8th place. And just a further 7 seconds back is Graham Coffey with John Cope alongside 2 rally drivers having a day out in the Fiesta S2000 Turbo. And again, just a further 5 seconds back, actually. Rounding out the top 10 is Tony Robinson with Paul Spooner. Very tight at the back end of the top 10 at the moment, and Will Owen and Chloe Thomas are not far back either in 11th. So all to play for. But Mark Kelly and Richard Scarborough at the moment are showing a very dominant pace out in the lead of this opening round of the championship. 29 seconds their advantage, and it will be an advantage that they will nurse through the second of these stages with the water splash and the gravel, the Deers League gravel. Because I tell you what, Michael Igo, Will Atkins were only 3 seconds slower through this stage, so they are coming on strong now. Kieran Hankin, James Swallow as well, just 3 seconds slower than Steve Simpson and Chris Williams through this third stage of the day. So take your eyes off these live results, because it could all change very, very quickly. Still just the 2 times through in Class F at the moment. Adam Philpott, Sean Rowlands leading the way at the moment from Richard Perry and Julia Perry. Only 6 seconds the difference in the up to 1400 class at the moment. Kay Thompson, Robert Wiggins doing a great job so far in 3rd place, out on the stage at the moment. So we'll see if they can maintain that performance and keep their 3rd position. You see them going through the water splash right now in that little micro. Charlotte Wainwright, who'd normally be in that car with Kay Thompson, is swapping for this round at least into the Mazda MX-5, the 2-litre car with Peter Taylor, who's a hill climb driver normally. And it's an interesting science when you first jump in a rally car and you think you're listening to your co-driver. You're probably not, and you hear this a lot. And a good, experienced co-driver, as Charlotte is, knows when the driver's not listening. So those two working on the partnership inside the car, and that should yield some results outside the car, because they did have a bit of a shocker on the first stage. And Peter Taylor overshot at the bus stop chicane instead of turning onto the slippery tarmac rally school section of the stage. There's Bartholomew Lang. Quite like saying your son name. Rolls off the tongue nicely with Phil Boyle alongside from Myerscough. Students from the college doing the motorsport course have built and are running that little micro. Really good to see them out, and they've become a regular sight on rallies, particularly in the northwest of England, as we are here at Alton Park. Myerscough not far from here, and in fact along the route of the northwest stages. Last few cars through the start line then launching themselves into this third stage of the day. 5.5 miles, taking in a mix of right and wrong direction Alton Park race circuit, taking in the Deersley gravel section, which runs parallel to the pit lane and the start-finish straight, and taking in the water splash, and of course that slippery rally school, technical, twisty section which we've seen catching so many people out today. We'll flick back to the results because I've just seen Kay Thompson, Bob Wiggins through the finish, so we should have a time for them now. Let's have a look. See if they've managed to hold on to their third place in Class F. You can do the same. Rallies.info is where you'll get your live results. Matthew Atkinson, head down, delivering those for us. Yeah, so yeah, lost a bit more time to Richard Perry and Julia Perry than they did through the second stage there. Kay Thompson and Rob Wiggins, but they're still in third place, and they've got a fairly sizable chunk. 27 seconds back to Bart Lang and Phil Boyle in the second of the micros. Josh Dallymore, Leonie Marchbank posted an identical time to Bart Lang and Phil Boyle through that second stage in the Mini Cooper S over here from the Isle of Man, so we'll be interested to see what time they post coming through this third stage in relation to that Mini that they're having a good old tussle with. Just waiting for the time through from the Mini pair. It's just waiting for those times to drop in, but you can do the same, as I say. And Lucy Wilding, Lilia Innes been doing a good job as well. Currently back in 6th place in Class F for the up to 1400 cars. I'll flick back to the results and give you an update once we have that Mini Cooper S through the finish. And there, right on cue, through the finish, comes Lucy Wilding. She was reporting that she was struggling for grip and doing a nice little pirouette here and there, shall we say. 15-year-old Lilia Innes alongside her doing her first rally. Fantastic to see. And those two having a lot of fun inside that little Nova, as well as putting on a good performance as well. You don't want to be following someone that closely into the water splash, do you? Get enough water into your intakes doing it on your own, let alone swallowing someone else's. But Wesley Guilford and Andrew Davies are desperate to get that R50 Cooper Mini past that Escort of Ian Broadfoot and David Rowley, aren't they? Joe Merrills, who's doing his second ever rally as a driver, coming in through there in the Civic. So we're coming towards the end of this third stage of the day. We hope you're enjoying the live action from the MGJ Engineering Circuit Rally Championship. It is the first round. Traditionally now we kick off with fireworks on and off the stages here at Alton Park for the Salford Van Hyatt Neil Howard Rally. And we'll be back live with you for stage 6, 7 and 8 this afternoon, 2:30. So do continue to join us and tune in for that later on today. Mark Kelly, Richard Scarborough then leading the way, and quite convincingly so as well. Michael Igo, Will Atkins though coming on strong, and behind them our reigning champs, John Griffiths, Emma Morrison in a chasing position, but for how long? Steve Simpson, Chris Williams as well, turning up the heat behind in their Fiesta Rally 2 after being held up earlier in the day. now back on the pace, now chasing hard, and with only a few seconds to make up to get into that podium position. It's close right the way through the top 10. It's close right the way through the classes. We are 3 stages in, with 5 more to go here at Alton Park. While we're gone for the next 2 stages, you can follow the results as they come through at rallies.info. Rallies.info, that is. And then we'll be back to bring you more action this afternoon. Well done to Phil and Jamie, our other 2 cameramen, out in the stages, bringing you those other views of the action. And Mason and myself are down here with producer Wayne in the pit lane, bringing you a bit of reaction throughout the day, as well as keeping you abreast of how the story is unfolding. Another 5.5 mile blast to go. Taking in the... So in fact, it's the only layout that takes in all 3 of the additional elements, shall we say, here at Alton Park. The water splash, Deers Leap, the gravel section, and the slippery tarmac infield section. Stages 5 and 6 are very much just it's a sprint stage, that one. It's a multi-lap blast around the circuit, really. And I remember from when I was doing the event 11 years ago with Graham Coffey, those are the stages where if you've got a car that's well set up, if you've got a driver that knows their way around a race circuit, as we've got a few, Stephen Johansson, Michael Igo, people who are used to racing and are coming out rallying, that's the parts of the day where they can really make up some ground. So as the last few cars make their way through this 3rd stage of the day, and our leaders queue up ready for the start of the next stage, we're going to leave you now for a couple of stages through the middle part of the day, where you can follow the results at rallies.info, and we will be back with you at 2:30 here on Special Stage as the from the Salford Van Hire Neil Howard Rally. For now, it's goodbye, and we'll be back with you very soon this afternoon. See you then.